tea is so good. It seems to have other special effects. I feel so much more energized. Qingyun couldn't pinpoint what was special, but her face flushed with excitement. Qingyun, her face flushed with a charming red glow, was enthralled. Xu Xian chuckled to himself. This is something left by my old man. Of course, it's not ordinary tea. The proud Xu Xian resolved to let Qingyun drink the true item tea every day. Reaching the true realm would be a piece of cake. After some time, Qingyun, after waking from the tea's effects, suddenly asked, "Third uncle, haven't you been staying home? I've never seen you leave the courtyard." Facing his niece's question, he couldn't tell her he was a homebody. I was resting." Qingyun didn't believe him. She hadn't seen Xu Xian cultivate, nor had she seen any improvement in his strength. She pressed further, "You're lying. I cultivate my heart. To be honest, the higher my heart's realm, the higher my cultivation realm." Xu Xian put on an air of mystery. The naive Qingyun actually believed him. "Third uncle, is it because your heart's realm isn't high enough that your strength is so weak? Is this also a cultivation method passed down by grandpa? How strange." Yes, a secret from my dad. It seems weak in the early stages, but once it awakens, it can soar to the heavens." Xu Xian, seeing an opportunity, quickly took the offered escape route. "This method isn't for everyone. It's very special. That's why I don't go out. It's also because of this, that I'm so resourceful. With this excuse, no one will nag me about going out again." Qingyun firmly believed him and declared she wouldn't bother him at home again or let anyone disturb him. Oh my god. This intelligence agency has failed again. They dare to call themselves the top intelligence agency in the Qin Kingdom. It's called the Black Moon Tower. This slightly clueless man is Manager Wan. He's the manager of the Qin Kingdom branch of the Black Moon Tower. Just now, Manager Wan denied his intelligence for the third time. Brother Chu, according to reliable information, Zhang Gui is dead. This hairy old man is Chu Tian, the head of the Chu family, one of the three great families in the Qin Kingdom. This was his fourth visit to the tower, and he was no longer the naive fool Manager Wan had once thought him to be. Are you sure who's the fool? Manager Wan spread his hands. Ahem, the Black Moon Tower's intelligence is never wrong. Most likely, he was killed by a rogue cultivator. When he said this, only ghosts knew where his confidence came from. He didn't feel embarrassed. In fact, Manager Wan really wasn't embarrassed, because he was thinking. Even if Zhang Gui wasn't dead, the Black Moon Tower would kill him the moment he appeared. That way, their intelligence would indeed be correct. So, regarding the matter of Brother Chu purchasing intelligence, I can personally compensate you. How about that? Manager Wan looked at Chu Tianming with a smile, hoping he wouldn't complain. After all, his mid-year bonus was coming soon. Manager Wan personally handling this was a rare treatment. Chu Tianming's small eyes twinkled. Deal. Since Brother Wan has said so, I won't pursue it. However, I do have something I'd like to ask of. Brother Wan, could you investigate the whereabouts of my son, Xu Xian? Don't worry, he'll personally request the Black Moon Tower to look into this. As soon as there's news, he'll inform Brother Chu immediately. Thank you, Brother Wan. As soon as Chu Tianming left, the Black Moon Tower received a report from a scout. Zhang Gui was not dead. He was still alive. But where was he? This time, the scout learned his lesson and no longer simply said, I don't know. He calmly told Manager Wan, Zhang Gui appeared briefly, but we couldn't kill him in time. He escaped using some unknown secret method. Manager Wan wasn't worried at all after hearing this. Instead, he was secretly relieved that he hadn't publicly announced Zhang Gui's death. He had only mentioned it to Xu Tianming. But he couldn't show his concern in front of his subordinates. He immediately ordered, continue to track him. I don't believe he can really disappear. Meanwhile, Xu Xian was pleased that Qingyun had broken through to the fourth level of the profound realm. That old man Xu Tianming should no longer be thinking about an alliance with the Qin family. Watching Qingyun leave, he softly said, be careful. Finally enjoying some peace and quiet, Chu Xian casually picked up a cultivation manual, intending to quietly cultivate the Heaven Soul Earth scripture. Suddenly, Chu Xian felt something was different. This feeling was a breakthrough. He felt as if he could manifest anything out of thin air. A translucent phantom lotus suddenly appeared in his palm. Could this be the mark of a true expert? Below the true realm, it's almost imperceptible. This is something condensed from your spiritual power. Just as Chu Xian was puzzled, a system notification cleared his doubts. Congratulations, host, on breaking through to the true realm. Reward: Golden Winged Sky Python. Bonus reward: 1. True Realm First Level Golden Winged Sky Python. It's just a bit small. I wonder when it will mature. The Golden Winged Sky Python is an ancient divine beast, possessing extreme speed. It can soar through the 9 heavens and descend into the 9 netherworlds. Tian Miao Miao, who had already cultivated the taste of delicacies, looked at her master with eager anticipation. Before Chu Xian could react, Tian Miao Miao and the Golden Winged Sky Python exchanged a glance, then began to fight, the python opening its jaws and breathing fire, Tian Miao Miao retaliating with blasts of blue energy. Alright, stop fighting amongst yourselves. Take her to the courtyard to get familiar with the environment. Chu Xian picked up the 2 little ones and told them to be friends. After sending the 2 powerful creatures out, Chu Xian confirmed he had broken through to the true realm. It seems the heretical sect is no longer a threat. Maybe with the yearly rewards, I can directly break through to the Earth realm. Once I reach the Earth realm, they'll truly be free from any tribulation. The thought made him happy. The true realm is great. At that moment, a potted plant in the corner caught his eye. The Tai Ling orchid looks like it needs trimming. This kind of leisurely life is truly wonderful. It's just that I miss the yearly maids. Every single one of them. Later, Chu Xian started randomly checking corners. You stepped on a potted plant. Still complacent, Chu Xian felt a tinge of boredom. He focused on the myriad 0 points and the 1,000 purifications. The myriad 0 points recorded all the 0 attribute objects and natural formations between heaven and earth. By studying the myriad 0 points, one could recognize any 0 attribute object and any natural formation, even predetermined ones. As for the 1,000 purifications, it's a book on pill refinement. It records countless pill recipes and numerous pill refinement techniques from ancient times. It's quite thick, perfect for killing time. These pill refinement methods are something Chu Yun could learn. He'll add a few pill recipes to her cultivation notes. Once Chu Yun masters them, her status in the Chu family will surely surpass Chu Qing, and she might even stand shoulder to shoulder with Chu Tianming. If Chu Tianming finds out, he'll be even more reluctant to let Chu Yun leave the Chu family. Look, this worrywart is actually supporting her. The man, oblivious to his daughter behind him, raised his arms and stretched mightily. The girl's name was Chu Yun, the Yuner in the man's mouth. Just now, Chu Yun had broken through to the 4th level of the profound realm. Turning around, Chu Xian reported to Chu Yun. Chu Yun appeared quite calm. After all, with the artifacts her brother gifted her, cultivation was a breeze. But she still offered verbal encouragement. Oh, not bad. You're progressing quickly. By the way, I was looking through the bookshelves the other day and found Father's old pill recipes. I've added them to your cultivation notes. Go take a look. Chu Yun's face was filled with surprise. Pill recipes. And there's even the blood of refinement. The absolute core pill refinement method and pill recipe. If Grandpa masters the absolute core pill, wouldn't he have a chance to break through to the harmony stage? But since third uncle didn't pass down the refinement method, Chu Xian saw Yuner's concerns and blamed himself for overlooking this detail. Could it be that this pill refinement method had a peculiar origin? Should he learn it? Would it bring trouble to the Chu family? Seeing Yuner's growing apprehension, Chu Xian feigned nonchalance. Don't worry. I already knew about the refinement method. Father wanted me to learn it, but I was too lazy. You can rest assured, Yuner, its origin is completely legitimate. Chu Yun was quite satisfied with this explanation. However, pill refinement methods were too precious in the Nanzhou region. Caution was necessary. If it were leaked and acquired by a powerful force in Nanzhou, the Chu family could face annihilation. Such a thoughtful younger brother. This was the first time Chu Xian had witnessed such concern. Before he could comfort her, Qingyun stressed again, especially if the evil king's court gets their hands on it. The consequences would be disastrous. He'll learn it secretly, and he'll find a secluded place outside to practice pill refinement. Could this be a change after breaking through to the 4th level of the profound realm? Fearful that Qingyun would continue to question him, Xu Xian quickly agreed. Yes, caution is key. With that, Xu Xian gave Qingyun a protective garment. He said it was left by their father. He wouldn't leave the Chu estate anyway, so he gave it to Qingyun for protection. Afterwards, Xu Xian still felt uneasy, so he contacted Zheng Han through their soul connection and asked him to secretly protect Qingyun. Zheng Han's strength was at the 5th level of the Void Realm. Under the control of the Soul Seal, he was absolutely loyal. Within the Chu Kingdom, things should be safe. Okay, with this arranged, he could relax at home. Now look, this is an ordinary-looking cave, but inside, it's a different world. The cave is located in the Purple Moon Kingdom. Inside, there is an underground palace. Within the palace, an old man was analyzing the current situation with his subordinates. The Dharma Protector fell in the Chu territory of the Qin Kingdom. This matter cannot be separated from the Chu family. This old man with a sinister face was named Yuan Chong. He was the vice-sect leader of the evil sect in the Purple Moon Kingdom. Wasn't the Dharma Protector lost in the internal strife of the sect in the Qin Kingdom? An evil sect expert asked with a confused expression. Though that's the official story, who in the Qin Kingdom really knows? If it weren't for the Chu family's interference, our sect wouldn't be in this state. Yuan Chong said viciously. The evil sect in the Purple Moon Kingdom had lost more than 10 elders, and even the sect leader was severely injured. Almost dying. And the root of all this was the Chu family's disruption of the evil sect's plans. All the elders present knew this. This debt naturally had to be settled with the Chu family. In less than 2 hours, hurried footsteps could be heard outside the palace. Who will settle this score with the Chu family? For me. With Yuan Chang's order, the elders present looked at each other, hesitant. The overall strength of the Chu family was indeed inferior to the Purple Moon Kingdoms, but it was not weak. Moreover, the Qin Kingdom was not their territory. Acting rashly in the Qin Kingdom could lead to unforeseen consequences. Elder, we haven't thought this through. Our main target is still the Purple Moon Kingdom, several evil sect elders echoed. Poof. The Chu family matter cannot be ignored. Don't forget that the Chu family disrupted years of planning for our sect. Once the king's court is able to intervene, they won't let the Chu family off either. Are we supposed to wait for the king's court to take action before we do anything? Yuan Chong snorted in dissatisfaction and continued his analysis. Besides, we don't necessarily have to fight the Chu family. I heard that Chu Qingyuan's son was expelled from the clan. Since we can't deal with the Chu family for now, why not capture Chu Qingyuan's expelled son? That would at least offer some appeasement. A cracking sound echoed as an elder crushed his teacup. What's the point of capturing Chu Qingyuan's expelled son? Stupid. Yuan Chong roared furiously. He's Chu Qingyuan's son, not some stray cat or dog. Even if he's a waste, as long as he's Chu Qingyuan's son, he's valuable. Besides, Chu Qingyuan may not be dead. If Chu Qingyuan returns one day, we can send his son to the king's court as a hostage, forcing him to cooperate. The elder who had just questioned the idea immediately changed his tune. In that case, go make a trip. Everyone turned their attention to a thin and frail elder. Since even the elders had no objections, Yuan Chong finally relaxed a bit. Alright, he'll leave it to Elder Lu Yuan, our most skilled tracker. Meanwhile, back in the Chu estate, Xu Xian was leisurely basking in the sun in the courtyard, sipping tea, and happily waiting for the arrival of his year-long confinement. Perhaps he was too relaxed. Xu Xian stretched, complaining about the evil sect's recent inactivity, when he suddenly received a warning. A powerful intruder had entered the estate. What? The evil sect is here again. After breaking through to the true realm, Xu Xian was more confident, but he still maintained some vigilance. The intruder's strength was at the 3rd level of the Void Realm, a high-ranking elder level. But why didn't Zheng Han inform him? You'd never guess that this elder, who volunteered to capture the supposedly useless young master, was plotting a coup. The elder's name was Lu Yuan. Among the Purple Moon Kingdom's evil sect elders, his strength wasn't the greatest, but he was the most skilled at evasion and sneak attacks. Just now, Lu Yuan, who thought he was perfectly hidden, accidentally triggered the defensive formation set up by Chu Xian's subordinates. The quiet courtyard instantly became perilous. However, Lu Yuan wasn't alarmed. He even thought that Chu Xian's courtyard didn't even have a guard. This made his task easier. Just as he entered the courtyard, he bumped into a young man, Chu Qiuluo. That's right, it's you. Chu Xian's face was filled with. What was wrong with his father? Why did everyone want to capture him? Before Chu Xian could get into a fighting stance, Lu Yuan, without a word, attacked and tried to grab Chu Xian. Not so fast. Just as Lu Yuan's feet left the ground, the protective formation suddenly activated. Caught off guard, Lu Yuan was sent flying, crashing into a tree. Lu Yuan was shocked. Was Chu Qiuluo's son a decoy? Was this an ambush? Looking up again, he saw a giant python suddenly appear beside Chu Xian. And Chu Xian looked at him with disdain. You're from the evil sect. I knew it. So, was the identity of Chu Qiuluo's son a honeypot? Recovering from the shock, Lu Yuan completely ignored Chu Xian's question, lost in his own thoughts. Despite the sudden appearance of the python in Chu Xian's seemingly low cultivation, could it be a trap set by Chu Qiuluo for his son? Since there were no other people around, it meant it wasn't an ambush. He had to find a chance to escape, taking Chu Xian with him as a hostage. Not talking, huh? That's fine. Chu Xian smiled faintly. The giant python suddenly opened its jaws, and in Lu Yuan's horrified gaze, swallowed him whole. Covered in cold sweat, Lu Yuan instinctively dodged and rolled away. The giant python suddenly disappeared, and Chu Xian's appearance changed dramatically. Could it be? Lu Yuan had a terrifying thought. Was this a Void Realm expert's technique? The Chu family had a Void Realm expert protecting them, and he was so young. Looking at Chu Xian's handsome features, he did resemble Chu Qiuluo somewhat. You are Chu Qiuluo. A storm raged in his heart. What? The rumors of Chu Qiuluo and his wife's deaths and disappearances were all fake. Or was it that Chu Qiuluo had gained some great opportunity, and to avoid being targeted by enemies, faked his disappearance, even going so far as to disappear? Watching Chu Xian's handsome face, Lu Yuan felt turbulent waves crash within him. What? Chu Qiuluo and his wife's purported deaths and disappearances, all fake? Perhaps Chu Qiuluo obtained some great fortune and, to avoid being targeted, faked his disappearance and even arranged for such a huge secret. This is a Kilto-silence situation. Lu Yan felt more and more convinced, a cold sweat breaking out. Seeing Lu Yan like this, Chu Xian asked. What's wrong with you? I'm Chu Xian, Chu Qiuluo's son. Don't be afraid, I won't kill you. Come on, tell me how you're involved with the demonic cult, Luo Yang. Covered in cold sweat, Lu Yan stammered, I am not just involved. I'm Lu Yuan, the cult leader of the Purple Moon Kingdom's demonic cult. Chu Xian's expression turned cold. You're from the Purple Moon Kingdom, and you came to Qin territory to capture me. What's the meaning of this? Lu Yuan dared not hide anything. Zhuebua died in Chu territory. Our lord suspects the Chu clan's involvement and sent me to capture you as proof. Chu Xian was speechless. So that's what this was about. That pathetic counterattack last time, did it even scratch the surface? Zhuebua and Meng Hu both died. Fine. The Purple Moon Kingdom's demonic cult insists on provoking me. Then don't blame me for retaliating. Chu Xian gave Lu Yuan a heavy blow, instilling a strand of spiritual energy to ensure he remained truthful. Even with severe injuries, Lu Yuan wouldn't be easily killed. Chu Xian then issued his first command. Pretend to have a fortuitous encounter and return to assassinate the Purple Moon Kingdom's demonic cultists. Kill as many as you can. Maybe, if you're competent, you can cripple their forces. That would relieve a lot of pressure on the Chu clan. Chu Xian watched Lu Yuan's departing figure, secretly sighing. This should buy him some time to cultivate peacefully. Once I break through to the Earth Realm, the demonic king's court will be nothing to fear. Lu Yuan soon returned to the underground palace. The Purple Moon Kingdom's demonic elders were furious. Where is he? You didn't bring him back. One elder glared at Lu Yuan. Did you fail? Humph, Lu Yuan sneered. You always order me around. What are you? From now on, I'm the cult leader. All the elders were stunned. Had Lu Yuan lost his mind? Daring to claim the cult leader's position. Who gave him the courage? Lu Yuan remained arrogant, glaring at everyone present. I'm on the verge of the unity realm. The position of cult leader is rightfully mine. Who agrees? Who objects? What could possess such a minor elder to claim the leadership of the demonic cult? This minor elder, Lu Yuan, after his arrogant display, saw the other elders' faces darken. They began to denounce him. Lu Yuan has gone mad. A chance encounter increased his strength and now he's delusional, claiming the cult leader's position. Especially, the more powerful Grand Elders rebuked Lu Yuan's audacity. This is suicide. Zheng Tu, who had a good relationship with Lu Yuan, anxiously tried to intervene. Lu Yuan, how can you speak like that? We're all brothers. Some jokes shouldn't be taken. Lu Yuan cut him off. Zheng Tu, you're a waste. I've always looked down on you. Zheng Tu's face turned green. You, this bastard is really getting ahead of himself. I ask again, who objects? Who supports me? Lu Yuan continued to glare at everyone. Supporters live, objectors die. The demonic cultists were not to be trifled with. The elders were enraged. Even the cult leader wouldn't dare speak so arrogantly. Who do you think you are? One of the demonic king's court's elders. I object. So what? Zheng Tu was the first to stand up, fuming. Good. Then die. Lu Yuan immediately attacked. Boom! With a single slash, he unleashed a powerful attack. Zheng Tu never expected Lu Yuan to actually attack. Caught off guard, he could only raise a hasty defense. Crack! An arm was severed, followed by an explosion of blood in the air. Lu Yuan, you're crazy. Fortunately, a nearby elder intervened, saving Zheng Tu from immediate death. So you dare attack me? You dare commit murder? Die! Lu Yuan roared, launching another powerful attack. You bastard! The intervening elder was enraged, hurriedly defending himself. Lu Yuan was truly insane. The other elders were shocked. Lu Yuan, stop. Or we won't be polite. Impudent. Lu Yuan raged. I said, objectors die. You dare defy me. All of you, die. The demonic elders were furious. Lu Yuan was truly mad. Such arrogance. Do you think you're the demonic king himself? Kill him. He's gone mad. Kill him. Zheng Tu clutched his wound, seething with rage. I'll kill you first. Lu Yuan roared, a powerful spiritual energy surging from his body. Zheng Tu instantly collapsed. The other elders were shocked. This power, so overbearing. He really did encounter a fortuitous opportunity. No wonder he's so arrogant. And he's probably being influenced by this power, losing his mind. The strongest elder, a bald man, was also sweating under this terrifying power. He quickly rallied the others. Let's subdue Lu Yuan together. But the crazed Lu Yuan showed no fear. After such continuous outbursts, his body couldn't withstand the strain. He began to emanate a chaotic, destructive aura. Die. Let's all die. Lu Yuan laughed maniacally, rushing forward, clearly intending to self-destruct. No. The bald elder's face was filled with terror. That bastard Lu Yuan is going to self-destruct. Boom. The underground palace collapsed in a fiery explosion. Smoke billowed. Who knew how long had passed? Amidst the ruins, Yuan Chong stared at the devastated palace, assuming a powerful enemy from the Purple Moon Kingdom had attacked. He rushed in, prepared to rescue survivors, only to find the bald elder leaning against a broken wall. Barely alive. Who did this? Seeing no enemy, Yuan Chang's face contorted in rage. That bastard Lu Yuan. The bald elder coughed up blood. He really did it. Yuan Chong was stunned. Lu Yuan had this kind of power. Everyone else is dead, only I survived, the bald elder gasped, spitting out more blood. Yuan Chang's mind reeled, everyone dead. At least 70% of the elders were gone. Such a devastating loss. How could they compete with other demonic sects? The bald elder continued to cough up blood. looking at the dazed Yuan Chong. You should really stop standing there. I think I can still be saved. Yuan Chong finally snapped back, retrieving a healing pill. Quickly, take this and tell me exactly what happened. Meanwhile, Xu Xian held a firecracker in his hand. Just moments ago, Lu Yuan, single-handedly, had devastated the Purple Moon Kingdom's underground palace. Congratulations! You orchestrated a devastating blow from afar, gaining 10 years of cultivation and a box of heavenly thunderbolts. The system's voice rang out. Xu Xian was invigorated. This counterattack was fruitful. 10 years of cultivation. A surge of power and comprehension washed over him. His strength increasing from the first level of the true tranquility realm to the third. As expected, the higher the realm, the slower the progress. 10 years of cultivation only raised him 2 minor levels. Xu Xian examined the heavenly thunderbolts. These were essentially cultivation world grenades, imbued with a sliver of heavenly thunder, highly effective against demonic cultivators. Once detonated, their explosive power could severely injure even a first-level true tranquility realm expert. Xu Xian decided that any demonic cultivator who dared to harass him would receive one of these. Let them use these for counterattacks, or even infiltrate the demonic king's court and cause chaos. After crippling the Purple Moon Kingdom's demonic cult, Xu Xian thought he could finally enjoy some peace. They're too weakened to send anyone else, right? Lost in pleasant dreams, Xu Xian felt Zheng Kuei's anxious presence. Something was wrong. Xu Xian immediately became alert. Could it be an expert from the demonic king's court? Soon after, a voice echoed in the courtyard. It was Zheng Kuei. Master, I have urgent news. Xu Xian sat in his chair, sipping tea, calmly waiting. The soul seal could transmit Xu Xian's will, but Zheng Kuei could only use it for simple communication. Not conversation. Thus, he needed to hear the details in person. Master, Yuan Chong, the deputy cult leader of the Purple Moon Kingdom, and Ru Wang, the cult leader of the Qin Kingdom's demonic cult, are secretly collaborating to launch a surprise attack on the Shu residence. Xu Xian was surprised by this unexpected news. Yuan Chong, instead of seeking further revenge, still blamed the Chu clan. If this plan succeeded, the Chu clan would suffer heavy losses, endangering key figures like Yu Jiming, Su Jing, or even Xu Qin and Xu Yun. Xu Xian was speechless. More trouble. Regardless, he was still a Chu clan member. Heavy losses for the Chu clan weren't in his best interest. Disrupting his peaceful cultivation. Xu Xian pondered for a moment. Find a way to leak this information to the Chu clan. Reveal the demonic cult's targets and the time of their attack. The Chu clan will know how to respond. Your task is to protect Xu Yun. Understand? Yes, master. Zheng Kuei bowed. Xu Xian considered that Xu Yun, currently focusing on cultivation, would need various spirit medicines. He added. Also, help Xu Yun gather various spirit medicines and heavenly treasures. You can arrange chance encounters. In short, find a way. You'll figure it out. Yes, master. Xu Xian then retrieved various precious pills, instructing Zheng Kuei to sell them for resources to purchase the medicines. To further ensure Xu Yun's safety, Xu Xian condensed 2 spirit avatars. Each avatar possessed the strength of the Unity realm. While they couldn't last long, they were practically invincible within Qin territory. When you approach Xu Yun, one avatar will merge with her. The other is for your protection. Thank you, master. Zheng Kuei was thrilled. With a spirit avatar, his life was practically guaranteed. Xu Xian then tossed him a Unity pill. Break through to the Unity realm. Zheng Kuei excitedly departed. Xu Tianming was also eager to reach the Unity realm, but a breakthrough wasn't easy. At his current level, a Unity pill would guarantee his advancement. However, Xu Xian had no intention of giving him one. This cheap grandfather had always disliked him. Better to wait for Xu Yun to refine a Unity pill. Xu Tianming could use that to break through, further solidifying Xu Yun's position in the Chu clan. This old man's talent isn't great, Xu Xian mused. Why else would his own father, Xu Qiuluo, never be suspected of reaching the Unity realm, or even the true Tranquility realm? Could his father have cultivated a superior technique? Impossible. If such a technique existed, his father would have shared it with the Chu clan. Xu Xian knew his father still cared for the family. To reach the unity realm, potentially even the true tranquility realm. With the half-true scripture, his talent was truly exceptional. No wonder he could surpass all his peers in Qin, hailed as the Chu clan's most talented cultivator in generations. Look! That monstrous beast is doing something outrageous. It's entering a young girl's room. Just moments ago, Xu Xian had received his reward for staying home for 11 months. The enhanced spirit refining diagram. His old diagram had weakened, almost losing its effectiveness. After just a few seconds of looking at the new diagram, Xu Xian felt himself almost drawn in, his head throbbing. Amazing! This enhanced version is effective even in the Earth realm. But by then, they'll probably have an even better one. The original diagram was now obsolete, useless to Xu Xian, but it remained a top-tier treasure in the southern Zhou region. Elsewhere, within the Chu residence, Xu Qin was pacing furiously. After his near-death experience at the hands of the demonic cult, he was deeply disturbed. These days, he mobilized the Chu clan's intelligence network, relentlessly investigating the cult's activities, determined to eradicate them. He considered hiring the Black Moon Tower, but their exorbitant prices for information on the cult forced him to rely on the Chu clan's resources. Chu Manor's intelligence network was quite unique. However, due to the lack of exploration-type spiritual artifacts, it was difficult to obtain information from the demonic cult. It was difficult to probe the demonic cult's crucial points. At this moment, a clever steward rushed in. "Young master, someone sent a message." Xu Xian looked up. "Who sent it?" "Not the other three families, and certainly not the Black Moon Tower." "I don't know who it is," the steward shook his head. Xu Xian took the message, his expression changing drastically after reading it. "Quickly, invite fourth uncle here." The steward hurried off. Chu Qiuhai was the fourth son of Chu Tianming. Among his siblings, Chu Tianming's talent was only above average. He had just stepped into the first level of the Void Spirit realm. "What's the matter, Xingjiang?" Xu Qiuhai asked. Xu Qiuhai arrived quickly. Xu Xian handed him the intelligence report. After Xu Qiuhai finished reading, he looked grave. "Fourth uncle, what do you think?" "How? The credibility should be very high. Regardless, we must investigate. This matter is beyond our ability to handle." "I'll return to the main house immediately." Xu Qiuhai left hurriedly with the report. Meanwhile, in a small village within Chu territory, on the hillside of a small mountain, inside a hidden cave, Xu stared intently at a pill furnace. Spiritual energy surged within his body, flowing into the furnace with a unique rhythm. "Condense," Xu muttered, manipulating the spiritual energy. The furnace spun. Its lid opened, revealing fragrant, crimson smoke swirling within. Amidst the smoke, several pills of varying sizes materialized. Xu caught them deftly. 4 are useless. 8 remaining. 5 are ordinary quality, but 3 have reached premium grade. The pills were smooth and glossy, emitting a subtle fragrance. Xu was overjoyed. He silently reviewed the pill refining process, identifying areas for improvement. "I'm out of medicinal herbs. I need to buy more to continue practicing. Once I can proficiently refine ordinary pills, the next step is refining spiritual pills." As Xu stepped out, he saw a large emerald green snake slithering towards him. He was startled, but before he could react, the snake merged into his body. "No!" Xu hastily examined himself, discovering an unknown power within him, seemingly originating from the snake. Suddenly, he noticed a small storage pouch where the snake had emerged. Looking around, he found no one else. Checking the pouch, he found a pile of medicinal herbs. Not just for ordinary pills, but also for spiritual pills. Besides the herbs, there were millions in gold coins. Xu was bewildered. Who gave him the pouch? His grandfather was unlikely. He had no reason to be secretive. Thinking about the unknown power within him, he suspected a senior had observed his pill refining and left the herbs as a test. He felt he might have encountered a hidden expert. Taking the pouch, he happily returned to the cave to continue practicing. Hidden in the shadows of the cave were 2 figures. "You protect Miss Xu. I'll report to the cult master." Zhang Kuei instructed Dong Qian before stealthily leaving. The demonic cult was about to launch a surprise attack on the Chu family. As the first vice-cult master, Zhang Kuei had to be fully informed of the plan. He needed to deliver reliable intelligence to Chu Xian immediately, given Chu Xian's important connection. This guy's got heavenly eyes. No one can hide their identity from him anymore. Zhang Kuei had just arrived at the small courtyard. Chu Xian, after listening to his report, thought for a moment. Qingyun seems to have a talent for pill refining. To reach this level in such a short time is remarkable. Good. Continue providing her with the necessary materials. Chu Xian nodded in satisfaction. Not killing Zhang Kuei was the right choice. Having a loyal dog is useful. Besides, Zhang Kuei's position as first vice cult master indicated not only strength, but also considerable intelligence. He casually gave Zhang Kuei a bottle of mystical void pills, also wanting Dong Qian to improve his strength. After all, their current power was too low to be of much use. For now, these two would suffice. Since there was no risk of betrayal, the stronger they were, the better. 13th Young Master, our Chu family, along with the He family, launched a joint attack and achieved a great victory against the demonic cult. Excited voices echoed from within the manor. The battle was fierce. Cult Master Wu Wang even used the cult's secret weapon. But it couldn't withstand the combined might of the two great families. Wu Wang was severely injured, and the other cult experts were almost completely annihilated. Chu Xian savored his meal, thinking, if I hadn't received the intelligence in advance, the Chu family might have suffered heavy losses. It was truly fortunate. The arriving elders and disciples continued to recount the battle. The demonic cult's strength is severely depleted. They are practically on the verge of collapse in the Ziyu kingdom. The disciples continued to celebrate. Chu Xian continued eating. Excellent. The demonic cult is unlikely to cause trouble for a while. Father, you achieved a brilliant victory against the demonic cult without even leaving home. Reward. Heavenly Insight Technique. The system reward arrived unexpectedly, delighting Chu Xian. The Chu family's victory and the demonic cult's defeat were confirmed. The Heavenly Insight Technique. Heavenly Insight, revealing the root and source. Knowing origins in past lives. Chu Xian looked at the technique's description and was stunned. This technique was incredibly powerful. It could reveal a spirit's origins and even their past lives. Of course, only extraordinary past lives could be revealed. There was no need to investigate ordinary ones. Mastering the Heavenly Insight Technique meant no one could hide their identity from Chu Xian. With a single glance, he could know their origins and, sometimes, even their past lives. Activating his heavenly eye, Chu Xian couldn't resist using the Heavenly Insight Technique on Tian Miaomiao. A surge of information flooded his mind. Heavenly Spirit Cat, born from the essence of heaven and earth, inheriting a divine lineage. Just a glimpse of the information caused Chu Xian to feel a mental strain, a dizzying sensation. He quickly stopped. Tian Miaomiao's origins were extraordinary. Investigating further would consume too much mental energy. With his current strength, it was impossible. He had only gleaned a small piece of information. Chu Xian took a pill to restore his mental energy and didn't continue investigating Tian Miaomiao or the Han Tian Golden Canopy. Their origins were already known through the system. Moreover, they were not ordinary beings. Their levels were too high for Chu Xian to fully investigate with his current strength. With the demonic cult crippled, Chu Xian's peaceful days continued. With half a month left until the one-year mark, someone Chu Xian didn't want to see returned. Chu Yuantong, the third oldest among his siblings. A fervent admirer of their father, Chu Choluo. 2 years ago, Chu Yuantong left to train, supposedly leaving the Qin kingdom. Upon his return, he immediately went to Chu Xian's courtyard, looking disappointed. Hey, look at you. Do you think you're worthy of third uncle? Chu Xian's lips twitched. The main reason his relationship with Chu Yuantong was strained was Chu Yuantong's constant disapproval. He always acted like a disappointed mentor. Can't you just relax? Chu Yuantong said, heartbroken. Third uncle is missing. Don't you want to become stronger and find him? You're such a disappointment. Chu Yuantong turned around, his back facing Chu Xian. Chu Yuantong's hands trembled with anger. He idolized his third uncle, Chu Choluo, and had trained under him since childhood. His current skills were all thanks to Chu Choluo. Seeing Chu Xian's indifference, he was furious. Get up. Chu Yuantong reached out to grab him. Chu Xian ignored him. Remaining motionless, Third brother, grabbing me so hard, are you trying to kill me and inherit my father's estate? Shu Yuantong paused, his face turning pale. You actually think of me that way? No, I just don't want you to bother me. Shu Xian turned to face him. Third brother, everyone has their own way of life. This is the life I've chosen, and I'm content with it. Besides, even father didn't interfere with me when he was alive. Chu Yuantong's hands trembled as he pointed at him, then finally sighed and sat down beside Chu Xian, taking out a flask of wine and drinking silently. Chu Xian glanced at him. This guy clearly had something on his mind. But he didn't ask. Among the siblings, Chu Yuantong was the most talented. Chu Tianming favored Chu Qingyun, but in terms of cultivation, Chu Yuantong was far superior. He had the potential to reach the first level of the Void Spirit realm. However, Chu Xian noticed that Chu Yuantong wasn't cultivating the Chu family's techniques. He didn't know if Chu Yuantong had encountered a fortuitous encounter outside and learned other techniques, or if their father had taught him something secretly. Chu Yuantong took a few sips of wine and sighed. Do you really want to live a carefree, ignorant life? Perhaps a peaceful life is the right choice. Chu Xian listened silently, feeling a pang of sadness. Chu Yuantong seemed to have something to say. Something must have happened during his travels. Although their relationship wasn't close before Chu Xian regained his past life memories, Chu Yuantong genuinely cared for him. If he could help, Chu Xian wouldn't hesitate. This mother and daughter are so unfortunate. Although Gui is a Qin kingdom princess, her mother was rejected by Chu Chilua. Now, the daughter is also being rejected by his son, Shu Yuan. Clearly, history is repeating itself. Shu Yuantong quietly told Chu Xian that he would be leaving soon, with no set return date. He wouldn't even reveal his destination, or whether he would ever return. However, he promised to keep searching for information about their third uncle and would notify Chu Xian if he found anything. Shu Yuantong took out a small scroll. Although the Chu siblings don't fight amongst ourselves, for your safety and stability, you should cultivate this technique and present it to grandfather. Your position in the family will improve greatly. The scroll seemed incomplete, with yellowed pages made of a special beast hide that could preserve information for a very long time. This type of beast hide was typically used for recording cultivation techniques. Besides its longevity, it could also store spiritual energy. The words on it were written with spiritual energy, containing deeper meanings. Chu Yuantong placed the scroll in Chu Xian's hands and then took out a bottle of pills, placing it in his hand as well. Standing up, he said solemnly, reach the profound realm soon. Watching Chu Yuantong's slightly desolate figure, Chu Xian shook his head, wondering what was troubling him. Could it be heartbreak? It was highly possible. Picking up the scroll, he opened it and examined it. Earth Step Technique. Only half of the Earth Step Technique, to be precise. Even so, it was extraordinary. After all, the Chu family had relied on half of the true Earth Technique to maintain their position in the Qin Kingdom for thousands of years. Cultivating this half of the Earth Step Technique wouldn't lead to the Earth Realm, but reaching the profound realm wouldn't be a problem. According to the scroll, the reason there were no Earth Realm experts in the Nanzhou region was due to a great war that shattered the Earth's meridians. The disruption of Earth's energy flow made achieving the Earth Realm impossible there. That was too far away for now. Chu Yuantong gave him this technique so he could gain Chu Tianming's favor, and improve his standing within the family, allowing him to continue his peaceful life. It was a thoughtful gesture. Chu Xian still couldn't figure out what was troubling Chu Yuantong. It seemed he was trying to distance himself. Could he have offended someone powerful and was seeking refuge? Unable to understand, Chu Xian decided not to dwell on it. He could ask Zhang Kuwei to keep an eye on Chu Yuantong and help him if necessary. The next day after Chu Yuantong's return, an urgent summons from Chu Tianming echoed through the ancestral mansion. Chu Xian sighed. What does the old man want now? An explosion was about to happen. Chu Tianming's first thought was that this matter was related to Chu Yuan. To be able to make Chu Tianming so furious, it seemed that the matter was not trivial. Then let Tianming go to the ancestral home every second to see what happened. Even so far away, Chu Xian could sense Chu Tianming's uncontrollable aura. Could it be that he wanted to kill Chu Yuan? That old man wouldn't be so ruthless, would he? Chu Tianming was about to go crazy. Chu Yuan wanted to break off the engagement. His fiancée was Princess Qin Kaiyu of the Qin Kingdom. The one whose engagement was broken off was the Qin family again. Although the 14 families of the Qin kingdom shared power, the Qin family was, after all, the royal family of the Qin kingdom, the leader. Breaking off engagements again and again, this was rubbing the Qin family's face in the dirt. What made Chu Tianming even more furious was that Qin Qi's mother was the one whose engagement had been broken off by his third son, Chu Qiluo. After the previous incident, the woman didn't return to her family but married someone else. Now that Chu Yuan had broken off the engagement, the other party would certainly not let it go. Perhaps the Chu and Qin families would have a conflict because of this. I don't care who you like, you absolutely cannot break off this engagement. I'll immediately arrange for you to marry her. Chu Tianming roared. Chu Yuan's father, Chu Qiufeng, was now drenched in cold sweat, lowering his head and not daring to look at his father. He also regretted it a little. He shouldn't have let his third brother influence his son. What did he learn? He learned to break off engagements. Didn't he get along well with Qin Qiu? They seemed to have a good relationship. So why did he suddenly want to break off the engagement? Chu Tianming was furious. Once this matter was known by the Qin family, wouldn't they be furious? His third son broke off an engagement, and now his grandson broke off an engagement too. And the one whose engagement was broken was the daughter of the previous victim. This was simply outrageous. Chu Yuan, however, was calm and collected. I've already informed the Qin family. I've also confessed, and told Qiu frankly, in my eyes, she is just a little sister. Pow! Chu Tianming clutched his chest, feeling his blood boil. Yui pointed at Chu Yuan, unable to speak for a long time. If he wasn't a cultivator of the river realm, he would probably have burst a blood vessel. Grandfather, father, uncle, I'm here to say goodbye today. I'm leaving the Chu family. Chu Yuan remained calm. He knew he would face Chu Tianming's wrath. But he still had to come back to inform them. Chu Qiufeng's expression was complex. His son had been intelligent since childhood and admired his third brother. But in the end, he even learned how to break off engagements from him. The eldest of the Chu family, Chu Qiuchang, also had a complex expression. The Chu brothers had always been less prone to fighting and were harmonious. Ever since the incident with their third brother, Chu Qiluo, the Chu family's atmosphere seemed to have been skewed. You are not allowed to leave. I will immediately inform the Qin family to come over for the wedding. Chu Tianming roared so loudly that he almost wanted to tear down the Chu family's ancestral home. Hua Qingyuan, the housekeeper, hurriedly came in with a complicated expression. Master, the Qin family is here. Chu Tianming's face changed. Who is it? It's Qin Pingxia and her daughter. What? Chu Tianming's face alternated between pale and flushed. That Qin Pingxia, who almost became his daughter-in-law, came with her daughter to settle the score. Chu Xian couldn't help but sigh. Could it be that he admired his old man so much that he even learned how to break off engagements? Even from such a distance, he could hear Chu Tianming's roar. One could imagine how angry he was. If he wasn't a cultivator, he would probably have burst a blood vessel. He didn't know what would happen to Chu Yuan. Would he be confined or forced to marry the Qin family's daughter? The question was the Qin family's daughter willing to marry him? Could it be that it was all voluntary? A feudal tragedy. Chu Shueyo shook his head. After a while, Chu Tianming's roar subsided. Could it be that Chu Yuan was locked up? Since Chu Yuan came back, he should have known the consequences he would face. What kind of a messed up family was this? Just because you broke off my engagement, you want to force your son to marry instead. Just now, in the grand hall of the Chu family's ancestral home, a figure in red crossed the threshold. Qin Pingxia, with a cold expression, stepped into the main hall. Behind her followed a graceful young girl, her head slightly lowered. Chu family, you want to break off the engagement again? Qin Pingxia asked. Absolutely not. Chu Tianming denied immediately. Whether the Chu family breaks off the engagement or not is the Chu family's business, but I, Chu Yuan, will not fulfill this engagement. Chu Yuan said calmly. You shut up. Chu Tianming roared. Grandfather, forced marriages never work. Ask Qiu if she likes me. I don't like, a weak voice came. What about you? Chu Yuan was taken aback. Did you hear that? You dare to let down Qiu? I'll break your legs. Chu Tianming continued to roar. This couldn't continue. If this precedent was set, cracks would appear in the alliance of the four families. And the beginning of cracks meant that the four families would gradually become disunited. Xu Yuan looked firmly at Qin Kaiyu. You shouldn't be bound by this so-called engagement. We've only met a few times, but I like you. I liked you the first time I saw you. Qin Kaiyu blushed. This didn't make sense. Did he have such great charm? Xu Yuan was a little dumbfounded. Taking a deep breath, he said, I have someone I like. It's impossible between us. Enough. Qin Pingxia raged. Do you think my Qin family's daughter is not worthy of your Chu family's son? Thinking of Chu Qiuluo, she was furious. Now, her own daughter's engagement had been broken off as well. Pingxia, regarding the matter of breaking off the engagement. It will never happen again. Lock him up and make him reflect. Chu Tianming said with a dark face, ordering the housekeeper. Xu Yuan secretly glanced at his chest, fumbling around. Grandfather, Xu Yuan, may not be as talented as my third uncle, as handsome as my third uncle, or as strong as my third uncle, but my will towards the one I love will definitely not lose to my third uncle's. Xu Tianming was furious. Why do you learn nothing else but how to break off an engagement like your third uncle? Drag him down and lock him up. Make him reflect properly. Xu Yuan ignored the housekeeper and looked at Qin Kaiyu. Kaiyu, you are a good person. You can find someone better. Goodbye. Everyone watched. Xu Yuan revealed the item in his hand. It was a teleportation pearl. Then, with a flash, he disappeared, leaving behind only Chu Tianming's roar, bastard. But it was too late. Get him back. Chu Tianming roared. None of the Chu family's third generation are any good. Qin Pingxia glared coldly at the roaring Chu Tianming. Taking a deep breath, she said, Chu Qiuluo's son has been bold enough to leave the ancestral home, huh? Chu Tianming's face darkened. I'll go and see how capable Chu Qiuluo's son is. Hua Qingyuan then turned and left with Qin Kaiyu. Chu Tianming was stunned, not quite understanding what he meant. Chu Qiuchang and Chu Qiufeng followed. They wanted to see what this woman would do when she saw Chu Xian and what crazy things she would do. Soon, the door of the small courtyard was pushed open. Qin Pingxia, with Qin Kaiyu, appeared in the small courtyard. Looking at Chu Xian, who was lazily lying on a chair, with a slight smile, she felt an unknown fire rising in her heart. You are Chu Qiuluo's son, Chu Xian. Chu Xian opened his eyes and glanced at her. Who are you? Sensing the malicious intent in Qin Pingxia's eyes and the way she seemed to be looking down on him, he lazily replied, what did you call me? Master. Qin Pingxia was so angry that she almost choked. You are the same generation as my father. If I don't call you master, should I call you sister? Chu Xian stretched, yawning. Then I'll have to call you auntie. You are older than me. Qin Pingxia took a deep breath, turning to look at the nervous Chu Qiuchang and Chu Qiufeng. Does your Chu family want to break off the engagement? Have you thought about the consequences? Chu Qiuchang smiled wryly. This matter is indeed our Chu family's fault, but you also saw that he has escaped. Whether we can catch him is another matter. Even if we force them to marry, it would be unfair to Kaiyu. Qin Pingxia looked at Chu Xian. Chu Qiuluo offended me, then let his son suffer the consequences. Chu Xian was stunned. Auntie, how old are you? You already have a daughter, yet you're so shameless. Trying to seduce a younger man. No wonder I rejected you. You're presumptuous. Qin Pingxia's face turned livid, her river realm cultivation instantly revealed. Chu Qiuchang hurriedly stepped forward, standing between her and Chu Xian. Turning his head, he glared at Chu Xian. What are you talking about? Seeing Chu Qiuchang sweating under the pressure of Qin Pingxia's aura, Qin Pingxia withdrew her aura, taking a deep breath. Since Chu Yuan is unwilling, then let Chu Xian marry my daughter. Could you believe that this seemingly harmless girl had a true identity that could shake the entire Nanzhou continent? Just now, Qin Pingxia withdrew her aura, took a deep breath, and said, since Chu Yuan is unwilling, then let Chu Xian marry my daughter. Hua Qingyuan and Qin Kaiyu blushed and lowered their heads. That sounds good. Wow, was she so fickle? Just now she said she liked Chu Yuan, and in the blink of an eye, she liked Chu Xian. The two brothers, Chu Qiuchang, were speechless. I disagree. Xu Xian raised his hand to object. After all, he was the male protagonist. What right do you have to disagree? Qin Pingxiao looked at him coldly. Xu Xian said seriously. I'm trash. Your daughter marrying me, isn't that ruining her life? Even though you're trash, you still have the guts to say it so confidently. Where's your shame? Don't you want your face anymore? Marrying a piece of trash, how can you let your daughter face others? Do you still want your face? Xu Xian continued to speak seriously. Think about it. You, as a mother, were dumped by my father, and now you want your daughter to marry me, this piece of trash. What will others think? They will definitely think that your daughter is unwanted and can only marry trash. Auntie, even if you were dumped by my father, do you want your daughter to bear the reputation of being unwanted and only able to marry trash? Huff huff huff. Qin Pingxia trembled with anger, her breathing heavy. Almost unable to control her rage. Damn it! Every word Xu Xian spoke wasn't just about him being trash, but emphasizing that she had been dumped by his father. None of the Chu family's third generation are good. Qin Pingxia gritted her teeth. Xu Qiuchang and the other two broke out in cold sweat, fearing that Qin Pingxia would suddenly attack. With their strength, they couldn't stop her. Xu Xian, however, remained unconcerned, continuing to provoke her. After all, he wasn't the third generation of the Chu family. You're right, trash is not worthy of your daughter. Qin Pingxia said hatefully. Ding! You rejected a woman who offered herself to you. Reward. Void heart fire. Xu Xian's eyes lit up. There was even a reward for this. As expected, he could always trigger the system's random rewards inadvertently. Qin Pingxia took a deep look at Xu Xian, turned around, and left without saying a word. Qin Kaiyu blushed, looking at Xu Xian with a somewhat regretful expression, but could only turn around and follow helplessly. Xu Xian frowned. Qin Kaiyu acted like an obedient girl, but for some reason, he felt that something was wrong with this girl. Immediately using the Heavenly Secrets calculation, he calculated Qin Kaiyu, mother, Qin Pingxia, father, Hong Fei, soul, fox demon soul, reborn in a dungeon, currently in the recovery stage. Outwardly obedient, inwardly cunning and ruthless, good at deception. Likes handsome men. Xu Xian took a deep breath. A fox demon soul, a former Earth Realm expert, now in the recovery stage, an obedient appearance, a ruthless heart. This girl is not simple. Moreover, she likes handsome men. Xu Xian touched his face. He was indeed handsome, there was no need to doubt that. No wonder she said she liked him. It seemed that the Qin kingdom was about to change. How would the Qin family's future unfold? All depended on Qin Qi's appearance. Was she a demon or a human? Limited by his strength, he couldn't further investigate how Qin Kaiyu was reborn into the Qin family and for what reason. He had to be wary of this girl. Although she was still some time away from a full recovery and it would take even longer to return to the Earth realm. Thinking that Chu Yuan's broken engagement would be such a lively affair, being targeted by a fox demon, wasn't a good thing. Xu Xian thought for a moment and decided to remind Chu Yuan. After all, he was sincere towards him. He looked at the Skyhawk Golden Rock and gave it a message. The Skyhawk Golden Rock soared into the sky and disappeared from the courtyard in the blink of an eye. It wasn't difficult for Xu Xian to find Chu Yuan's location through the system records. The Nihility Heartfire, an invisible flame, appeared. Nihility Heartfire. Burns the heart, burns with rage. This fire was like the true fire of anger, able to ignite within a sleeping person. It can stir a person's fury, fueled by their rage. Only a spark of anger is needed to ignite it, and once lit, it cannot be extinguished. Xu Xian knew how powerful Nihility Heartfire was, and how difficult it was to defend against. In this world, who wouldn't feel anger? To kill someone, you only need to provoke them slightly, and the fire will ignite. Once ablaze, it will not be extinguished until the target explodes in rage, killing without a trace. Those unaware would simply think the victim died from rage. With intense anger and disrupted spiritual power, going berserk wouldn't be impossible. Chu Yuan's matter seemed to have subsided within the Chu family, but Xu Xian knew better. Though it appeared calm on the surface, some ripples had undoubtedly formed. He could imagine that with Qin Kaiyun's Earth Soul awakening and her talent unleashed, the Chu family would soon regret not keeping her. Unless Chu Yuan never returned, he would definitely be unwelcome. Xu Tianming might even disown his grandson. Fortunately, all of this had little to do with Chu Xian. He just wanted to cultivate peacefully. Whether Qin Kayun's Earth Soul recovered or not, she wouldn't be a threat in the short term. The one-year mark was approaching, and the rewards would be substantial. The Earth Realm wasn't far off for Chu Xian. It was common knowledge in the southern domain that there were no Earth Realm cultivators. As for the reason, the records or ancient legends spoke of a great battle that shattered the land, causing incomplete rules and the loss of Earth Realm inheritance. However, with Qin Kayun's appearance, Chu Xian knew the truth was likely more complicated. Where did Qin Kayun come from? Was she a native of the southern domain or an outsider? Information about the world beyond the southern domain was scarce, even in the records. Several thoughts flashed through Chu Xian's mind. For now, without reaching the Earth Realm, some of his plans couldn't be implemented. Moreover, if an Earth Soul cultivator like Qin Kayun had appeared, were there similar cases elsewhere in the southern domain? Was Qin Kayun a unique case? Chu Xian was more curious about why Qin Kayun, a fox demon, was reborn into the human race. Was her reincarnation passive or active? Judging from her retained Earth Soul, an active rebirth for a specific reason seemed highly likely. Chu Xian thought of Ping Xianxia, the woman whose engagement to his father was broken off. She ended up marrying a criminal, and gave birth to Qin Kayun, who was then betrothed to Chu Yuan. Was there a connection? Why would Ping Xianxia, after being jilted, still want her daughter to marry into the Chu family? Furthermore, Chu Yuan had always been taught by Chu Qiluo, practically his successor. The more Chu Xian thought about it, the more he felt there was a conspiracy. Chu Yuan broke off the engagement, and now Ping Xianxia wanted to marry Qin Kayun to him. It seemed too casual. Something felt off about the Qin family. He needed to investigate. With sufficient strength, any conspiracy could be overcome. What kind of twisted logic was this? At his age, being forced to kneel to such a young brat. The shame was unbearable. Just now, in the Purple Moon Kingdom's demonic sect, the sect leader Hua Qingyuan looked at the frail, hunched-over Kuan Wu and said, "Kuan Wu, your lifespan is nearing its end. Once this task is complete, I will give you the complete Blood Spirit Pearl. It should be enough for you to extend your life by 10 years and increase your chances of a breakthrough." Kuan Wu coughed, his voice raspy. Hua Qingyuan, only a few more years. Chu family elder, you should willingly offer the Blood Spirit Pearl. Are you truly willing to part with it? The Blood Spirit Pearl is refined from the essence of 15,000 cultivators using forbidden techniques. It is one of the treasures created by demonic cultivators, and the method of refining the Blood Spirit Pearl is solely in the hands of the demonic King's Court. This is also the reason why the demonic King's Court is relentlessly pursuing cultivators. Kuan Wu's cultivation was at its peak, a veteran demonic cultivator, yet he couldn't break through to the synthesis realm. My lifespan is nearing its end. Hua Qingyuan. My demonic sect has fallen to such a state, and the source of it all is the Chu family of the Qin kingdom. I cannot swallow this anger. Hua Qingyuan raged. The demonic sect's years of planning were ruined, and he was severely injured. The 3 remaining elders were no match for the Chu family. The Purple Moon Kingdom's demonic sect was on the verge of collapse. And it all started when the Chu family discovered the demonic sect's infiltration of the Qin kingdom. The main target is Chu Qiluo's son. As long as we harm his son, I have plenty of ways to retaliate against the Chu family. Hua Qingyuan gritted his teeth and took out the Blood Spirit Pearl. Moreover, using Chu Qiluo's son for our revenge, I'd like to see if the Chu family would dare to kill their own. Seeing the sect leader so determined, Kuan Wu agreed. He had been stuck at the peak of the Void Realm for too long. With his lifespan dwindling, this was an opportunity. Though the Chu family was powerful, with his skills, he was confident he could slip in and out without being caught. Hua Qingyuan tossed half of the Blood Spirit Pearl. After you succeed, the other half is yours. Kuan Wu took the Blood Spirit Pearl, gave Hua Qingyuan a meaningful look, then turned and left. The Chu family was strong, and Chu Tianming's strength was comparable to his own, with a protective treasure to boot. Kuan Wu wasn't confident he could defeat Chu Tianming. Besides, though Chu Qiluo was old and his strength had declined, as long as he wasn't trapped within the Chu family estate, against Void Realm 8th stage or lower, he was confident he could escape. This trip was just to capture Chu Qiluo's son and kill a few Chu family elders along the way. A quick infiltration to capture the target and eliminate a few witnesses. Wouldn't be difficult. By the time the Chu family reacted, he'd be back in the Purple Moon Kingdom with the complete Blood Spirit Pearl. If he broke through to the synthesis realm, the Chu family would be nothing. Even if he failed, he didn't have many years left to live, so what was there to fear? Kuan Wu smiled wickedly. Meanwhile, Chu Xian counted the days. Only 7 days left until the 1-year mark. Time flies. It's been almost a year cultivating in this small courtyard. From the mortal realm all the way to the true realm, who would believe it? 7 more days, and it'll be a full year. Nothing unexpected should happen. No one will disturb me, right? Cultivating peacefully, was there anything more enjoyable? Suddenly, Chu Xian sighed. Someone was approaching the courtyard. What's with these demonic sect people? Why do they always find me first whenever they come to the Chu family? Kuan Wu arrived at the courtyard, immediately sealing the surroundings to prevent any sound from escaping. Even if Chu Xian shouted, no one would hear. You are Chu Qingyuan's son, Kuan Wu said, looking at Chu Xian sitting calmly in his chair. I am indeed Chu Qingyuan's son, but I don't understand why you demonic sect people always target me. Did my father steal your scriptures or something? Chu Xian sighed. I am not from the demonic sect, Kuan Wu replied, merely hired by them. Come quietly, boy. Kuan Wu smiled and reached for Chu Xian. Not from the demonic sect. Chu Xian was slightly surprised. Kuan Wu was at the peak of the void realm, though his lifespan was dwindling. Chu Xian had assumed he was some hidden elder of the demonic sect. As Kuan Wu's hand reached out, Chu Xian simply said, kneel. Kuan Wu instantly fell to his knees. True speech, a word into reality, a command into law. With the strength of the true realm third stage, Chu Xian's true speech against a peak void realm cultivator like Kuan Wu was like the law of the great Tao. Kuan Wu had no resistance. His spiritual power fluctuated wildly as he tried to stand, to escape. Stay kneeling. Don't try to run. Chu Xian's calm voice continued. As the words fell, Kuan Wu's fluctuating spiritual power subsided, and the thought of escape vanished. Kneeling, kneeling. Cold sweat dripped down Kuan Wu's face. Terror filled his heart. What kind of power was this? The legendary Earth Realm. Chu Qingyuan's son. Preposterous. What terrifying secret did the Chu family hold? Kuan Wu cursed Hu Quan inwardly. Explain your origins and purpose here. Chu Xian continued, using true speech. Kuan Wu immediately confessed everything. He was terrified. Why did he have no power to resist the other party's words? After hearing Kuan Wu's explanation, Chu Xian was speechless. The demonic sect people were insane. On the verge of collapse, they still wouldn't give up, insisting on disturbing him. Was it their demonic cultivation that had damaged their brains? Chu Xian captured Kuan Wu but had no intention of controlling him. Too much effort. Since he was at the peak of the void realm yet couldn't break through, it showed how poor his talent was. With so much time, even a slightly better talent could have reached the synthesis realm. Waste. No value. And with his dwindling lifespan, helping him break through would be a waste of resources. Chu Xian didn't kill him directly. Instead, he controlled him with a soul seal and, remembering the system reward, Sky Thunderflash, took out several and gave them to Kuan Wu. Go. Use your remaining life to shine brightly. Cause some chaos in the demonic king's court. Kill as many as you can. Chu Xian waved him off. Let chaos reign. This old man was actually the first suicide bomber in history. Who would have thought? After leaving the Chu family, Kuan Wu headed straight for the demonic king's court, his heart in turmoil. The Chu family was terrifying. This was a suicide mission. What use were these things Chu Xian gave him? Just to let him slap anyone he saw. Kuan Wu never imagined he would spend his last moments like this. The demonic king's court was the holy land of demonic cultivators in the southern domain, the most powerful force. No demonic cultivator dared to provoke it. A day later, Kuan Wu arrived at the capital of the demonic king's court. The guards at the gate were all at the void realm, albeit only at the first or second stage. This demonstrated the demonic king's court's strength. All demonic cultivators who reached the synthesis realm had to report to the capital. Without orders, they couldn't leave the territory. This was the rule, and any violation meant death. Though powerful, the demonic king's court wasn't without enemies. Especially with the old demonic king in seclusion, the demonic king's court had become less active, ceasing its outward expansion. Halt! The guards at the gate saw the hunched Kuan Wu approaching and immediately shouted. Kuan Wu had accepted his fate. He couldn't resist that will controlling him, might as well go out with a bang. Even in death, he would leave his mark on the history of demonic cultivators in the southern domain, and even the entire southern domain's cultivation history. He would make sure someone remembered the name Kuan Wu. He stormed the demonic king's court. He looked up, a cold smile on his face. The holy land of demonic cultivators, where no demonic cultivator dares to trespass. Today, Kuan Wu will challenge this so-called holy land. What did you say? The guards thought they misheard. A madman was actually trying to break in. The Scorpion King's palace was heavily guarded. Deng Da's eyes widened. Is this guy crazy? Has his evil cultivation fried his brain? I hope I don't end up like that one day. Even the most fearless desperados wouldn't dare provoke the Scorpion King. The consequences were worse than death. As evil cultivators, they knew better than anyone how cruel their methods could be. Kuan Wu stood tall, his aura surging. His hollow core realm cultivation was on full display. I am Kuan Wu. He no longer resembled a frail old man. A golden broadsword appeared in his hand, gleaming like a teardrop. He looked like a vengeful god. In my final moments, I will shine brightly. I will make all evil cultivators remember the name Kuan Wu. I will forever be remembered for storming the Scorpion King's palace. My name will be etched in Nan Province's history. So what if I die? Kuan Wu attacked. His first strike was like a thunderbolt. The guards had only perceived him as a hollow core second stage cultivator and didn't believe he would actually attack. Caught off guard, they were no match for him. He instantly cut them down. Boom! Kuan Wu charged towards the palace, cleaving the gate with a single slash. All of you, come out and die. Powerful auras erupted within the palace. As Kuan Wu stormed the palace, several hollow core 8th stage guards rushed out. They were immediately overwhelmed by his formidable aura. While they were still reeling, even stronger core formation realm auras emerged from deeper within the palace. You're courting death. A core formation expert arrived. A giant hand reaching out to grab Kuan Wu. A heavenly thunder flash appeared in Kuan Wu's hand. He hurled it at the incoming expert. The core formation expert's eyes narrowed, sensing immense danger. He caught the thunder flash. But it was too late. Boom! The explosion was deafening, a building collapsing in the ensuing chaos. The core formation expert perished in the blast. Kuan Wu continued his assault on the palace. Finally unleashing one final roar. Ha ha ha! I, Kuan Wu, will die a glorious death. An evil cultivator who doesn't dare challenge the Scorpion King's palace is no true evil cultivator. As an evil cultivator, I must storm the holy ground of our kind. Remember my name, Kuan Wu. The massive explosion caught the attention of a delicate-looking young man. He quickly questioned his subordinates. What happened? Reporting to the evil king, a hollow core peak evil cultivator, Kuan Wu stormed the palace, killing a core formation expert and severely injuring 2 nascent soul experts. A subordinate stammered. In the end, he self-destructed within the palace. Before dying, he yelled, remember my name, Kuan Wu. The delicate young man was the current Scorpion King. Insolent. Inside the main hall, the Scorpion King's face was livid. The other high-ranking members of the court were equally enraged. Capture his family and friends. I want them to suffer a fate worse than death. The Scorpion King roared. No previous Scorpion King had been so brazenly challenged. He felt his authority was being undermined. Perhaps as a loner, without any family or disciples, someone cautiously suggested. What? Seriously? The Scorpion King was exasperated. This old fool. The news of Kuan Wu's attack spread like wildfire throughout Nan Province, reaching every evil cultivator. There were always a few madmen among their ranks, and copycats were inevitable. Evil cultivators were prone to instability. After this incident, Kuan Wu became famous, his name known throughout the land. Some unstable cultivators, seeking notoriety, would naturally try to emulate him. The Scorpion King's once unchallengeable authority would be tested time and again. The current Scorpion King's face had been thoroughly slapped. When Hu Quan heard the news, he broke out in a cold sweat. That old fool Kuan Wu. Is he insane? He wanted to grab Kuan Wu and yell, "I specifically told you to cause trouble at the Chu family, not to provoke the Scorpion King." What went wrong? Why did you suddenly attack the palace? Did you even go to the Chu family? Did you lose your mind on the way, or did something happen at the Chu family? Hu Quan was terrified. If anyone discovered his involvement in Kuan Wu's attack on the Chu family, he would be doomed. Fortunately, only he and Kuan Wu knew about their plan. There were no other witnesses. The Black Moon Tower shouldn't know, right? Such a confidential matter, with no third party involved, shouldn't have been leaked. Hu Quan tried to reassure himself. I hope that old fool Kuan Wu didn't reveal anything to the Black Moon Tower. Otherwise, those ruthless bastards would definitely use that information against me to curry favor with the Scorpion King. I need to lay low and recover from my injuries. This has nothing to do with me. I've never even met Kuan Wu. Hu Quan decided to keep a low profile. He didn't want to be captured by the Scorpion King. The consequences would be unbearable. Something's not right about the Chu family. Why am I always implicated in incidents involving them? Hu Quan suspected the Chu family was hiding something significant. After Kuan Wu's incident, he didn't dare target them anymore. He would focus on recovering, and once healed, he would plan his revenge. He wouldn't let them off the hook. If it weren't for the Chu family, I wouldn't be in this weakened state. The ZU country's evil cultivators are almost eradicated. All of this is the Scorpion King's fault for his incompetence. If not for his incompetence, I wouldn't be in this situation. The Chu family. Hu Quan gritted his teeth. He could have lived a carefree life but was now forced down a dangerous path. The Chu family. A year later, apart from gaining weight, Hu Quan had an unexpected gain. Just now, in a fit of rage, he took out a small, dark red bead and stared at it for a long time. His expression uncertain. He had found this bead years ago, when he was still in the profound realm, in an ancient ruin. After years of exploration and research, he had figured out that the bead was a demonic heart bead, containing demonic energy. Once released, anyone below the nascent soul realm would be demonized. Once demonized, they would become demonic slaves. The demonic race was humanity's greatest enemy, a threat far greater than any human cultivator, regardless of their realm. Hu Quan's eyes gleamed with ambition. He stared at the demonic heartbeat for a while before putting it away. Whether to implement the plan will be decided later. Father, without even leaving your room, you've caused a stir in the Scorpion King's court and caught the attention of every evil cultivator in the land. You've established a legacy secret realm. Xu Xian was shocked. That old man Kuan Wu, quite capable, isn't he? Establishing a legacy secret realm. The system allowed Xu Xian to establish a legacy secret realm anywhere in Nan province without leaving his room. Upon entering the secret realm, a destined individual would gain its inheritance. This wasn't just any secret realm. It allowed Xu Xian to choose a successor anywhere in Nan province. Whoever received the inheritance would become his disciple. And if Xu Xian so willed, he could instantly absorb his disciples' cultivation or even control their life. Xu Xian looked at the small workshop worker's icon in the system. As long as he had enough legacy secret realms, he could have disciples all over the land without ever leaving his room. And every disciple would be completely under his control. Even if a disciple rebelled, he could instantly reclaim their cultivation. Of course, the inheritors wouldn't know that their lives were in Xu Xian's hands. Only those with great destiny could enter the legacy secret realm. Aren't these the protagonists of the world? Disciples all over the world without leaving home, the ultimate puppet master. Interesting. If any disciple dares to betray me, he'll instantly revoke their cultivation and even reward it to another disciple. Brilliant. Xu Xian was delighted with the legacy secret realm idea, but it wasn't the right time yet. He was still too weak. The rewards from a low-level secret realm weren't significant. 2 days left until the 1-year mark. Xu Xian was excited. Surely nothing will happen in these 2 days. Right. Time passed peacefully. The 1-year mark was approaching. Whether I can break through to the Earth realm in a short time depends on this 1-year reward. The longer the seclusion, the greater the reward. Father, you have been in seclusion for a year. Your reward is 100 years of cultivation and the profound Immortal Cultivation technique. These will be directly instilled into you. Xu Xian was overjoyed. Not only did he receive a powerful cultivation technique, but also 100 years worth of cultivation. He eagerly accepted the reward. As Chu Xian comprehended the profound immortal cultivation technique, the 100 years of cultivation surged into him. Earth Realm 4th stage. 5th stage. 8th stage. He felt as if he had broken through a barrier. Boom! Chu Xian's body and spirit transformed, the changes even more dramatic than when he broke through to the profound realm. The courtyard remained quiet, with no sign of the transformation within. Chu Xian, still sitting cross-legged, was undergoing an Earth Realm metamorphosis, stepping into a whole new world. Chu Xian suddenly opened his eyes. A humanoid spiritual form, clearly resembling Chu Xian, appeared in his mind. This was his nascent soul. The fundamental sign of breaking through to the Earth Realm was the transformation of one's spiritual will, condensing into a nascent soul. With a nascent soul, even if the physical body was destroyed, as long as the soul remained, one could be reborn. The nascent soul continued to solidify, and his spiritual power and physical body continued to transform. Nascent soul power emanated outwards, connecting with and merging into the world, spreading out from the small courtyard. 1 mile, 2 miles, the nascent soul power continued to expand, harmonizing with the heavens and earth, gradually forming a special domain. Chu Xian experienced the insights of the Earth Realm breakthrough. He saw certain rules of heaven and earth, his understanding of the world leaping forward. He seemed to have touched upon the true meaning of heaven and earth. With a single thought, he could manipulate the world to his benefit. It was as if he had created a small world centered around himself, where he was the supreme ruler, the ultimate authority. As his nascent soul continued to solidify, Chu Xian could see more and more rules. The vast world, the place where he resided, seemed to have incomplete rules. He vaguely saw that the rules of Nan Province's Earth Realm were broken in several places. Perhaps this was the real reason why there were no Earth Realm experts in Nan Province. Because the rules were incomplete, one couldn't fully break through to the true Earth Realm. Chu Xian believed that some might have condensed their nascent soul, but because they hadn't integrated with the complete rules, they hadn't truly reached the Earth Realm. They were only half-step Earth Realm at best. The broken rules of Nan Province seemed to be slowly recovering. Perhaps when these rules were fully restored, Earth Realm cultivators would be able to truly break through. Chu Xian was an exception. He wasn't limited by Nan Province's flawed rules. His nascent soul was merging not with the rules of Nan Province, but with the rules of the larger world, a higher level of rules. His nascent soul's transformation wasn't over yet. The small world centered around him continued to expand. 3 miles, 5 miles, the nascent soul power reached the Chu family residence. At this moment, the Chu family's ancestral home was completely transparent to Chu Xian. With his Earth Realm nascent soul power, Chu Tianming and the other Chu family experts naturally couldn't detect him. Within the Chu family's ancestral home, in the Forbidden Grounds, several figures were in secluded cultivation. Their auras were between the core formation and hollow core realms, just a hair's breadth away from breaking through to core formation. Chu Xian was stunned. The Chu family truly didn't have any core formation experts. Was it because their cultivation technique prevented them from breaking through, or was it simply a lack of talent? Undeniably, talent played a role. The auras of those in secluded cultivation were not weaker than Chu Tianming's. They were likely the Chu family's hidden trump cards. His nascent soul power continued to spread. The Chu family occupied an area of 12 miles. With the ancestral home at the center. The guards' residences, the servants' quarters, the stewards' residences, and even the hidden underground facilities were all within its reach. Finally, his nascent soul power covered the entire Chu family estate. Chu Xian's small world now encompassed the entire Chu family's territory. At this moment, Chu Xian discovered that the layout of the Chu family estate was actually a formation. In times of crisis, the Chu family could use this formation to unleash powerful defensive and offensive capabilities. This was the Chu family's true foundation. Seeing this formation, Chu Xian realized that the Chu family's ancestors were quite capable. Perhaps they had excavated it from some ancient ruins, or maybe the Chu family estate itself was built upon an ancient ruin. His nascent soul transformation was nearing completion. The construction of his small world was also in its final stages. Breakthrough imminent. Chu Xian's nascent soul transformation was complete, his small world fully formed. He had officially stepped into the Earth Realm. There was a saying in the cultivation world that perfectly described the Earth Realm. Within my domain, I am the Earth. All laws are subject to my will. This was the power of the Earth Realm. No matter how many nascent soul experts there were, within an Earth Realm expert's domain, they were mere ants. A single thought could decide the life or death of all beings within. When an Earth Realm expert is angered, millions will perish. At the heart of the Chu family's ancestral home, a new era had begun. The Chu family ancestors, who were in secluded cultivation, suddenly had a special epiphany. Their minds were touched by a faint force, and they suddenly broke through. Just a little bit more, and they would have reached the He realm. Several ancestors opened their eyes, all shocked and suspicious. How did they suddenly break through? And after the breakthrough, their aura didn't. It seems that this trip out will allow me to continue staying at the Chu family. The man was only slightly surprised. Since those ancestors who were obstructing me have broken through just now. At the core of the Chu family's ancestral residence, the ancestors who were in secluded cultivation suddenly had a special epiphany. Their minds were touched by a faint force. And they suddenly broke through. Just a little bit more, and they would have reached the He realm. It should be due to the influence of my divine soul power. The several ancestors were all just a tiny bit away from breaking through. My divine soul power and foresight covered them, slightly leaking a bit of the law's aura, which caused the ancestors to uncontrollably break through. At the moment the ancestors broke through, Chu Xian discovered a treasure within the core of the Chu family's ancestral residence. It seemed about to activate and shoot towards the ancestors. He couldn't help but become curious. His divine soul power focused slightly and glanced at it. It turned out to be a treasure that transmits messages. It seemed to collect the aura of He realm experts and then transmit it to a certain place. Interesting. The Chu family doesn't have any He realm experts. They are probably deliberately suppressing breakthroughs. And the He realm experts who broke through left. Regarding the secrets within, Chu Xian is just an insignificant adopted son and naturally can't access them. He also doesn't care about these matters, as long as they don't affect his secluded life. His divine soul power concentrated slightly and sealed the treasure that was collecting auras. Congratulations, you have broken through to the Earth realm. Gain access to the Great Luo Earth Scripture, Great Luo Divine Method, and Great Luo Immortal Scripture. After breaking through to the Earth realm, a systematic explanation came. It was actually the subsequent version of the Great Luo Earth Scripture. Chu Xian accepted it. The related insights of the subsequent version of the Great Luo Earth Scripture continuously surfaced in his mind. Mastering 2 immortal scriptures and cultivation methods. Chu Xian felt his foundation and strength become more profound. Boom! Earth Realm, 2nd level. Breaking through to the Earth Realm, 2nd level, his 100-year cultivation base was also completely consumed. Chu Xian inhaled and exhaled, feeling his current strength. At this moment, he was full of confidence. He was invincible in the southern region. He is currently the only Earth Realm expert in the southern region. Unless there are Earth Realm or higher experts from outside the southern region, he is supreme within the southern region. And even if there were Earth Realm or higher experts from outside the southern region, they wouldn't come to the Chu family to find him. So, there's no need to worry about Xia Wangting now. Kill any heretic cultivator who comes. Moreover, with the strength of the Earth Realm, wanting to silently kill someone is incredibly simple. There's no need to worry about being discovered. Meow. Tianling cat jumped onto his shoulder, rubbing its head against his face. Little mum. You should break through quickly too. Tianling cat had already reached the 9th level of He realm, about to break through to the true. Breaking through to the Earth realm actually doesn't require much time. Moreover, with Chu Xian's cultivation increasing, Tianling cat's growth will also accelerate accordingly. Han Tian golden pine also flew over, its spiritual flower extending a branch with blooming flowers. Beautiful. It won't be long before both Han Tian golden pang and Tianling cat break through to the Earth realm. His confidence will be even stronger. Set a small goal. Break through to the heaven realm. Chu Xian told himself, can't get ahead of myself. The Earth realm, 2nd level, isn't anything special. Above the Earth realm is the venerable heaven realm. Only by breaking through to the heaven realm can one truly be considered invincible. The heaven realm, in this post-Han world, is also the pinnacle of existence. Strive to break through to venerable within 10 years. Chu Xian set a short-term goal. After breaking through to the Earth realm, his cultivation speed wouldn't be as fast as before. breaking through to venerable within 10 years shouldn't be too much of a problem. With the system rewarding me with more cultivation bases, I should be able to achieve it quickly. Also, it's about time to utilize the opportunities within the secret realms. The heavenly Dao rules of the southern region are slowly recovering. Who knows when experts from other regions will come to seize territory? Even that reborn person from the DL appeared. It's foreseeable that the southern region won't maintain its current balance forever. But within 10 years, there shouldn't be any major upheavals. Within 10 years? If he suddenly breaks through to venerable, he will be a full-fledged venerable, a transcendent existence of the earth realm, an esteemed being among the earth. The so-called, wherever I am revered. Even emperors would bow their heads. Venerables in this world are absolute powerhouses. Without a doubt. Xu Xian stood in the courtyard. His mood joyful and confident. After becoming stronger, life is much more comfortable. Looking at the brightly lit small courtyard, Xu Xian suddenly felt he lacked people who could handle tasks for him, or beautiful maids to serve him much better than servants. Xu Xian looked at the secret realm of opportunities in his system space and couldn't help but have an idea. Should I take it out and temporarily place it in the courtyard? Placing it in the courtyard might attract some people with great destiny. He could take the men as disciples and the women as maidservants. Xu Xian's heart stirred. He wanted to live a comfortable life, without leaving the small courtyard. He needs people around to listen to his commands and handle matters for him. Zhang Kuei and Dong Qian are, after all, heretic cultivators. Not suitable to appear openly, as they're easily eliminated. Moreover, these two have average talent and limited potential, only suitable for running errands. Thinking of this, Xu Xian took out the secret realm of opportunities. It was an ancient-looking small. Xu Xian didn't activate the secret realm of opportunities. He casually placed the small palace in a corner of the courtyard. Even without activation, it should attract those with great destiny. Right. Xu Xian was full of anticipation. You have lived for another year and 1 day. Reward. Earth Realm Pill, 1. As expected, on the second day, the Earth Realm Cultivation Pill arrived. Earth Realm Pill. A pill specifically for breaking through to the Earth Realm and for Earth Realm cultivation. System product, guaranteed top quality. After breaking through to the Earth Realm, Xu Xian's small life became increasingly pleasant. Anxiety was non-existent. Feeling his strength growing stronger day by day, as long as his heart was content, there would be no worries. Xu Xian called Zhang Kuei back to inquire about Xu Yun's news. Unexpectedly, Xu Yun's pill refining talent was exceptional. In such a short time, he had already started refining spirit pills. The failure rate was high, but how long has he been learning pill refining? Xu Yun had already broken through to the 6th level of Xin Gold, thanks to the pills he refined himself. Xu Xian gave several spirit pill formulas and another pill refining technique to Xu Yun through Zhang Kuei. He also instructed Zhang Kuei to provide the necessary materials for pill refining. After all, as the first vice-sect leader of the heretic cultivators, he had no shortage of resources. With sect leader Lu Wang in seclusion, Zhang Kuei had already taken control of the heretic cultivators in the Qin kingdom. After breaking through to the He realm, he was the strongest among the heretic cultivators. Xu Xian learned from Zhang Kuei that all heretic cultivators who break through to the He realm must go to the heretic king's court to report. They are not allowed to leave the heretic king's court without permission. The purpose is to gather strong individuals to respond to threats. Xu Xian directly sealed Zhang Kuei's He realm aura and gave him a concealment technique. As long as he doesn't go to the heretic king's court, no one will discover he has broken through to the earth realm. After reaching the earth realm, Xu Xian no longer considered the heretic king's court a threat. Have you heard of this technique that falls from the sky? Those who have witnessed this technique have already become ancient history. And the friends of those who have become ancient history will use their experiences as bragging rights. Just now, 2 void venerable guards at the entrance of the heretic king's court were gossiping excitedly. A month had passed since Kuan Wu barged into the heretic king's palace. And the month-long investigation hadn't found any evidence of a mastermind behind the incident. All signs indicated that Kuan Wu suddenly went crazy and decided to barge into the heretic king's palace. The final conclusion was that Kuan Wu's lifespan was nearing its end, and his mind became muddled. He wanted to become famous, so he barged into the heretic king's palace. And Kuan Wu did become famous. Not only within the heretic cultivator circles, where they learned of such a reckless person, but also within other major forces and even the entire southern region's cultivation world, they learned of such a good bed. The heretic king's palace, which is known as the heretic cultivator's sacred ground and should not be provoked, became even the entire southern region's cultivation world knew of such a good bed. At this moment, the guards weren't particularly vigilant. Even if someone passed by the palace gate, they didn't pay attention. After all, passing by the gate was a normal occurrence. Countless heretic cultivators would come to take a look, to see the sacred ground of the heretic cultivators. An aged-looking man with a hunched back walked towards the heretic king's palace. The guards glanced at him and looked away, not paying attention. The old man arrived at the palace gate and attacked without warning. Boom! The guards were caught off guard, having no time to react or defend. They were directly avoid Venerable's peak strength was revealed without reservation. After the old man struck the palace gate, he charged directly into the heretic king's palace. At the same time, a loud voice rang out. Countless heretic cultivators were shocked. I am Fan Kai. Today, I shall intrude upon the sacred ground of the heretic cultivators and experience the scenery of the heretic king's palace. Many heretic cultivators were aghast. What? Is he crazy? I am Fan Kai. This was the second heretic cultivator in thousands of years to intrude upon the heretic king's palace. He was courting death. Fan Kai charged into the heretic king's palace. Damn it! The true venerable expert took action. Even the heretic king's palace dares not to provoke those cultivators. What are these heretic cultivators? What's the heretic king? Fan Kai ignored them. In my life, I only admire Brother Kuan Wu's courage. Fan Kai laughed loudly and charged directly at the true venerable expert, without giving the opponent a chance to surrender. After learning the news, the heretic king went crazy. He was the only heretic king in generations to be challenged repeatedly. Following Fan Kai, another person came to intrude upon the heretic king's palace. 3 old-looking heretic cultivators charged towards the heretic king's palace. We are the Ghost Mountain 3 friends. Today, we shall also intrude upon the heretic king's palace. Death holds no fear for us. Ha ha ha. Everyone says the heretic king's palace is inviolable, a sacred ground. The overlord of heretic cultivators. Today, we, the Ghost Mountain 3 friends, have come to learn from it. Many heretic cultivators were shocked. It's actually the Ghost Mountain 3 friends. Why are they intruding upon the heretic king's palace too? Do they have a death wish? Don't you know? The Ghost Mountain 3 friends are nearing the end of their lifespans. They have no hope of breaking through. A group of heretic cultivators who have nothing to lose. Ghost Mountain 3 friends, you are courting death. The guards of the heretic king's palace were furious. One after another, they came to provoke. Do they think the guards of the heretic king's palace are trash? Boom! A Realm 9th level guard attacked. Boom! One of the Ghost Mountain 3 friends directly self-destructed. The guard was caught off guard and was severely injured by the explosion. Everyone was stunned. He directly self-destructed as soon as he arrived. Was he crazy? For the next half-month, there would be heretic cultivators coming to intrude upon the heretic king's palace. Intruding upon the heretic king's palace became a trend within the heretic cultivator circles. It seemed that if one didn't intrude upon the heretic king's palace, they wouldn't be considered a true heretic cultivator. At first, it was only heretic cultivators nearing the end of their lifespans who came to intrude. Later, even young and hot-blooded heretic cultivators came to intrude. The prestige of the heretic king's palace was rapidly declining. Do they think the heretic king's palace is a place they can come and go as they please? The heretic king revealed 2 cute little tiger teeth. Although no one who intruded upon the heretic king's palace had survived so far, all going with the determination to die. For some unknown reason, having a friend who intruded upon the heretic king's palace had become a badge of honor. Hey, you know what? My senior brother intruded upon the heretic king's palace. Really? Tell me more. Intruding upon the heretic king's palace had become a bragging point within the heretic cultivator circles. To have the qualifications to boast, one must have a friend who had intruded upon the heretic king's palace. Some even lied about their friends intruding upon the heretic king's palace. This day, another person arrogantly charged towards the heretic king's palace. A group of onlookers gathered around to watch the excitement. My name before he could finish his name, an angry roar came from the depths of the heretic king's palace. A giant, blood-red hand suddenly reached out and crushed him. The blood-red hand continued to sweep towards the crowd, targeting those who looked old and frail, seemingly close to death. Poof! Poof! In the blink of an eye, over a dozen people were obliterated by the blood-red hand. Run! The onlookers were terrified and scattered in all directions. The heretic king had gone mad. Die! Die! The blood-red hand continued to slaughter the heretic cultivators. The heretic king was practically exploding with rage. One after another, they came to provoke him, making him the least prestigious heretic king in history. He was so angry that he personally took action. He thought that his personal intervention would deter the heretic cultivators. But it didn't. There were still those who weren't afraid of death, coming to intrude upon the heretic king's palace. Don't tell anyone, but my brother was killed by the heretic king himself. What? He was your brother. My respects. My respects. Amazing. Within the heretic cultivator circles, provoking the heretic king to personally take action had become the greatest honor, a sign of true bravery. No one knew how this trend started. The heretic king was so angry he almost vomited blood. He wondered if a new heretic cultivation technique had emerged that caused brain damage. Otherwise, where did all these lunatics come from? Kuan Wu. The heretic king gnashed his teeth. The source of all this was that insignificant little heretic cultivator named Kuan Wu. At a glance, this big cat walked directly towards the man with a serious expression. The next second, the man fell to his knees with a thud. Father. I am your son. This stunned the big cat. The man's name was Ma Kong. Just now, Xu Xian was lamenting that it had been almost 2 months since he placed the secret realm of opportunities in his courtyard, and no one with great destiny had appeared. Could it be that there were no individuals with great destiny in the southern region? Or were they too far away and needed a long time to arrive? Father, your actions, without even stepping out, have started a trend within the heretic cultivator circles. Reward. Your heavenly essence. The system reward suddenly came, and Xu Xian was stunned. His actions, without even stepping out, started a trend in the heretic cultivator circles. What trend did he start? Did he accidentally set off fireworks during the new year? This matter must be related to Kuan Wu, but he didn't know what Kuan Wu specifically did to start this trend. This was the disadvantage of lacking intelligence. Such a big event happened in the southern region, and he didn't even know. He needed to find a way to control the Black Moon Tower. Check, your heavenly essence. Your heavenly essence can randomly connect to all regions and can transport objects. Xu Xian was instantly overjoyed. It can randomly connect to all regions and transport objects. However, for now, unable to transport living beings. My power needs to reach the heavenly ascension realm to transport living beings. Besides randomly connecting to different realms, the myriad heavens path can be used 3 times a day to locate 3 places or souls. After locating, I can check the location anytime. The myriad heavens path's mark can be placed on a soul, and the location will move along with it. Xu Xian eagerly activated the myriad heavens path. As spiritual energy was input, ripples appeared on the mirror's surface, and then an image appeared. 3, 2, 1. Success. I wonder which realm this is connected to. As the image moved, Xu Xian suddenly saw a figure and froze the image on it. He zoomed in on the location. Ma Kong lay on the ground, gasping for breath, seemingly severely injured. Ma Kong, how are you? A young man in black, also wounded and panting, knelt to check on Ma Kong. Seeing that Ma Kong was conscious and had just experienced a battle, the black-clad youth relaxed. In a flash, a knife plunged into his chest. You? The young man's eyes widened in disbelief, staring at Ma Kong. He never imagined his companion would betray him. He tried to retaliate, but after the fierce battle, his spiritual energy was almost depleted. Ma Kong's knife was fatal. Darkness descended, and the young man's consciousness faded. Why? He murmured. Ma Kong's face was grim. For the treasure, of course. I'm sorry, brother. Your luck is better than mine, but I can't afford to be merciful. Ma Kong finished him off, snatched his storage pouch, and opened it. Pleased with the contents, he turned to leave. Ha! A roar suddenly echoed from behind. Ma Kong's face paled. Not good, it's a sky slaughter tiger. He turned and fled. But he didn't get far before a massive black-striped beast appeared behind him. Ma Kong's face was ashen. He was only at the TH level of the profound realm. The sky slaughter tiger was at least at the TH level of the earth realm. He then noticed a mysterious halo rippling in the void. Through the halo, he saw a figure. The figure within the divine light appeared godlike. Senior! Help me! Ma Kong cried, kneeling down. Chu Xian hadn't expected his first use of the myriad heaven's path to witness such treachery. He activated the seven-colored divine light. His eyes glowed within the light like a deity. Don't worry. They'll teach you a method to easily kill that sky slaughter tiger. Ma Kong was overjoyed. Thank you, Senior. Please teach me. Chu Xian, whose face was obscured by the divine light, spoke with the air of a supreme expert. When the tiger attacks, slide beneath its belly and stab upwards into its abdomen. Remember, their belly is always a weak point. Ma Kong was stunned. He looked back at the approaching tiger and gulped. Senior, will this work? Trust me. It will. It won't expect you to slide beneath it. It's the element of surprise. You will succeed. Chu Xian instilled confidence in him. With me here, nothing will go wrong. Ma Kong felt reassured. The senior is testing me, he thought. Yes. That must be it. He gripped his knife, turned to face the tiger, and his gaze hardened. He advanced towards it. The sky slaughter tiger was enraged by Ma Kong's advance. He was clearly challenging its authority. It charged. Ma Kong's heart pounded. His grip tightened, and his legs trembled slightly. Don't panic. I'm here. It's your chance. Don't disappoint me. His grip on the knife steadied, and his legs stopped trembling as he watched the tiger charge. Don't panic. I'm here. It's your chance. Don't disappoint me. His resolve solidified. Die. He roared, sliding beneath the tiger as it lunged. A claw slammed into him, sending him spinning through the air. The sound of cracking bones echoed. He crashed to the ground, spitting blood. Ma Kong struggled to sit up. He stared at the approaching tiger, his face pale. Senior! Save me! He cried. Chu Xian sighed in disappointment. You have disappointed me. Your slide wasn't fast enough, your timing was off. Senior, I know I was wrong. Save me! Ma Kong pleaded. Chu Xian shook his head. It's too late. I'm millions of miles away. It takes time for my power to reach you. Don't panic. I'll teach you another method that will save your life. What is it? Tell me quickly. Ma Kong, though skeptical of the senior's methods, had no other choice. Kneel and call it daddy. Tigers don't eat their own children. It won't hurt you after you call it daddy. Chu Xian said solemnly. Ha! Ma Kong was dumbfounded. Would this really work? Trust me. All strong beings have suffered humiliation in their youth, so don't be burdened by this. This is your only chance. I understand tigers. They don't eat their children. It's not just a saying. Left with no other option, Ma Kong knelt as the tiger loomed over him. Daddy! I'm your son! He cried. The sky slaughter tiger froze, its eyes wide. Ma Kong's heart sank. The senior lied to me. Tigers do eat their children. He quickly corrected himself. Daddy, I'm your daughter. My name is Ma Hu. Due to his panicked babbling, the word daughter became a mosaic of garbled sounds. Ma Kong, having called the tiger daddy, hoped it would spare him. Seeing the tiger lower its raised paw, he felt a surge of relief. Calling it daddy worked. The sky slaughter tiger turned as if to leave. Tears of joy streamed down Ma Kong's face. He's leaving. I'm alive. Bye, daddy. Thank you, daddy. The sky slaughter tiger twitched as if annoyed. Turning back to Ma Kong, it wagged its tail playfully. Then, with a swift, brutal swing, it slammed its tail into Ma Kong's head, splattering his brains. The tiger then proceeded to stomp on the remains. It trampled the corpse into a pulp. Ma Khan's final though was cut short. His wide eyes stared up at the rippling halo above, where a figure with glowing eyes sat within the divine light. The sky slaughter tiger instantly froze. It cowered like a frightened cat, paws tucked in, trying to slink away. "Where are you?" the voice from the halo asked. The tiger whimpered, a mental message transmitting outwards. Northern state. Xu Xian was surprised. This connection was to the northern state. Feeling his spiritual energy drain, he cut off the input. The image on the myriad heavens mirror vanished. Using the mirror was quite taxing. Even maintaining a connection for a short time was difficult. He put the mirror away and sat down to recover. Once recovered, he infused the mirror with spiritual energy again. The mirror shimmered, and an image slowly formed. The image showed rolling waves, seemingly a vast ocean. He moved the image, surveying the entire connected area. Nothing but endless waves, not even a fish in sight. Xu Xian was disappointed. His second connection was unlucky. He hadn't seen anything. He had hoped to connect with a powerful cultivator, someone he could deceive, as they wouldn't be able to perceive his true, weak cultivation. He appeared godlike in the divine light, a very deceptive image of a supremely powerful being. A third of his spiritual energy was depleted, and the image still showed nothing but rolling waves. His third connection was to a gray, desolate place filled with deathly energy. Ancient, gray, withered structures filled the scene. No living beings were visible. Xu Xian frowned slightly. This place felt wrong. He sent a medicinal herb towards the gray area. In an instant, it withered into gray dust. He continued, moving the image. The area seemed to be a small, enclosed space. Perhaps a secret realm. But the deathly aura suggested a burial ground. A larger, gray, withered structure appeared. The deathly aura around it was much stronger, pulsing as if something within were breathing. Xu Xian zoomed in, focusing on the structure's entrance. Suddenly, the entrance opened. The image moved inside. Within the deathly still structure sat a withered figure. Dressed in gray rags, the figure's dried-out body emanated deathly energy. Hollow eyes flickered with a silvery light. Xu Xian, appearing godlike within the divine light, observed the figure. He was not worried. The figure could not see through his disguise, nor could it attack him through the myriad heavens path. "Who are you?" the withered figure croaked, looking up at Xu Xian. "I am a traveler of the myriad heavens, passing through this place." This withered man, Xu Xian learned after 10,000 years of cultivation in this wretched place, had once reached the peak of the heaven realm, only to be trapped here. A cripple. Just moments ago, Xu Xian had declared himself a traveler of the myriad heavens. His majestic voice echoed from within the divine light. The withered figure was silent for a moment. Then, a hoarse voice echoed, "Myriad heavens. I don't know of any myriad heavens. I only know of the 9 regions in 50 states. Xu Xian's mind raced. The 9 regions in 50 states must be the divisions of this world. He wondered which region the southern state belonged to. The 9 regions in 50 states are but a desolate corner of the myriad heavens. They are nothing, Xu Xian declared mysteriously. The silvery light in the withered figure's eyes flickered brighter, clearly impressed. The 9 regions in 50 states were just a desolate corner. He didn't doubt Xu Xian. This being, shrouded in divine light, was clearly immensely powerful. Even the halo itself was beyond his comprehension. Even a heaven realm expert couldn't connect to this place. Xu Xian's words had clearly awed the figure. He could sense immense power in the withered figure. Even weakened by the deathly aura. Trapped here, constantly exposed to the deathly energy, its demise was inevitable. "How do I reach the myriad heavens?" the withered figure rasped. "You are too weak." Xu Xian knew the figure would object. "Impossible. I'm at the peak of the heaven realm. A peak heaven realm expert is at the apex in the 9 regions in 50 states. How can I not be qualified to know?" Xu Xian thought, peak of the heaven realm. And this place traps even a peak heaven realm expert. This place is extraordinary. But the prospect of having a peak heaven realm servant was enticing. With his current strength, he couldn't directly subdue a peak heaven realm expert with a soul imprint. "I have a method." He began, aiming to convince the withered figure to willingly accept a soul imprint. To trick a peak heaven realm expert, he needed to inflate his own importance, To make the figure believe that even at the peak of the heaven realm, they were still insignificant. Peak of the heaven realm. Xu Xian chuckled. You are but a frog in a well. A peak heaven realm expert in the myriad heavens is merely a street sweeper. Perhaps you don't understand what that means. Today, I'll explain it to you. Harmony stillness roughly corresponds to your heaven stage. So, tell me, does a junior of your heaven stage have the qualifications to be involved in matters of heavenly stillness? Ren Changhe, blinded as you are, you're merely at harmony stillness. Just how strong is the myriad heavens realm? No wonder the 9 Jade 50 regions are considered a backwater. For a moment, Ren Changhe couldn't accept it. Your Majesty, Your Majesty. He got it right. Xu Xian chuckled inwardly, then asked, how long did it take you to cultivate to this realm? Upon hearing this, Ren Changhe regained some confidence. Naturally. It only took about 10,000 years. TSK, such poor aptitude. It actually took you 10,000 years. Xu Xian shook his head inside. Do you know? In the myriad heavens realm, reaching king stage, which is equivalent to your heaven stage, within 100 years is considered ordinary talent. In the myriad heavens realm, only those reaching heaven stage within 10 years are called geniuses. Ren Changhe felt dizzy, unable to believe it. Impossible. 10 years to heaven stage. How is that possible? He was once the renowned Changhe heavenly sovereign of the Harmony Light sect. 10,000 years to reach heaven stage, revered by countless people, hailed as one of the most outstanding geniuses of the 9 Jade, and the result? He's just trash. He couldn't accept it. Sigh, a frog in the well, unaware of the vastness of heaven and earth. How pitiful. Xu Xian sighed. What level of cultivation are you? Senior. Ren Changhe fell silent for a while, then spoke with a bitter tone. He had already believed Xu Xian's words. The first step was successful. Xu Xian remained silent for a long while. What good is it even if you know? The difference between you and me is like the difference between an ant and the heavens. Ren Changhe gasped, deathly energy surging into his mouth. He collapsed directly. After a while, he recovered, excitement welling up in his heart. Perhaps this was his opportunity. I implore Senior to save me from this predicament. Xu Xian replied mysteriously, this place is rather special. For you, danger and opportunity coexist. If you can comprehend the mysteries within, you can break through. If even Senior finds it special, then there must be something extraordinary about this place. Ren Changhe said with a bitter smile. I've been trapped here for no less than 100,000 years. Yet I've never been able to grasp any profound mysteries. Instead, I'm constantly eroded by deathly energy, getting further and further away from advancing. Knowing the danger. Why did you come here? Do you know the name of this place? I know. Desolate Valley, Whispers of the Fallen God. Ren Changhe trembled. Before meeting Xu Xian, even trapped here, he was still arrogant. A place that could trap him, Ren Changhe, could also trap any heaven stage peak expert in the world. Now, he was trembling. It turned out that he was sitting in a well, watching the sky. Before a true genius, he was just trash. Xu Xian uttered the name. Desolate Valley. Whispers of the Fallen God, one of the 9 Jade. Knowing one of the Jade, and still hesitating. Then I suppose this is where your esteemed Senior, come in. Xu Xian gestured mysteriously, deathly energy isn't deathly energy, life energy can be deathly energy. Embrace death to live, the cycle of life and death, this is the great Tao. It can free you, it can allow you to break through harmony stillness. Ren Changhe murmured to himself, lost in thought. He had been trapped here for 100,000 years. Unable to escape, unable to comprehend. What opportunity did Whispers of the Fallen God hold? Where was the opportunity? Embrace death to live, the cycle of life and death. Ren Changhe muttered, feeling that Senior's guidance was the key to escape and the key to breaking through the peak of heaven stage. However, how to embrace death to live, how to cycle life and death? Senior. Xu Xian interrupted him before he could ask. Comprehended well. Don't seek answers before you've even understood. Every person's comprehension is different. Young man, don't be impatient. Be calm. You've been trapped for 100,000 years, what's there to be impatient about? I guarantee you'll be fine for 1,000 years. What's the rush? Senior is right. Ren Changha admitted respectfully. Indeed, what was he rushing for? Even though he was trash compared to the geniuses of the myriad heavens realm in the 9 Jade 50 regions, he was still the renowned Changha heavenly sovereign of the Harmony Light sect, second to none. If even he couldn't comprehend it, who else in this world could? Thank you for your guidance, senior. Ren Changha began to ponder, to comprehend the mysteries within. The first step of persuasion was successful. The next step was to solve the problem of the deathly energy erosion. By doing so, taking Ren Changha as a servant or a nominal disciple wouldn't be a problem. After all, don't underestimate this bald man with only a piece of cloth covering his body. He only took 10,000 years to cultivate to heaven stage. And even more shocking than him was this mysterious man within the circle of light. He spared no effort, spending all his energy to transmit himself here, just to brag to the bald man. The man's name was Chu Xian. Just now, he had successfully fooled this Ren Changha, who was 110,000 years older than him, into believing that he had the ability to help him escape. Being called senior repeatedly made Chu Xian's heart bloom with joy. Taking him as a servant might be a bit difficult, but a nominal disciple wouldn't be a problem. The key was to implant a soul mark on him without him having any rebellious thoughts. That was the crucial point. Otherwise, with his strength, the slightest rebellious thought would prevent the soul mark from taking hold. Comprehended well. I'm going to continue my inspection of the myriad realms. I hope that when I see you again, you'll have already grasped it. Chu Xian flicked his fingers, placing one of the 3 myriad heavens realm locators, another anchor, on Ren Changha. Senior's grace, Ren Changha will never forget. Finding no reaction from Ren Changha, he inwardly breathed a sigh of relief. The myriad heavens realm's locator anchor couldn't even be detected by a heaven stage peak expert. Truly worthy of being a system product. He snapped his fingers, cutting off the energy input. The myriad heavens realm could be used 3 times a day. This time's uses had been exhausted. Ding! You successfully fooled Ren Changha, triggering the system's random reward. Yin Yang River God Scripture. Chu Xian immediately checked it out. Yin Yang River God Scripture. Grasps the Yin Yang Great Tao, cycles life and death, reverses deathly energy into life energy. The Yin Yang River God Scripture is a grand technique leading directly to the Yin Yang Great Tao. It can transform deathly energy into life energy and life energy into deathly energy. If Ren Changha cultivates this, not only can he resolve the current crisis, but he can also break through his bottleneck, and even grasp the Yin Yang Great Tao. Chu Xian immediately claimed the Yin Yang River God Scripture's essence and placed it on his heart, sighing with emotion. The Yin Yang Great Tao was profoundly mysterious, transforming life and death. Once cultivated to a certain level, the resulting power would be extraordinary and extremely difficult to counter. When he was fooling Ren Changha, he had actually prepared a technique to neutralize deathly energy. After all this time, the system had rewarded him with numerous secret techniques, including one to refine deathly energy. He had originally planned to impart this technique, increasing his weight in Ren Chang's heart, and then find a way to make him accept being soul-marked. Now, with this Yin Yang River God Scripture, it was no exaggeration to say that taking Ren Changha as a follower wouldn't be a problem. The key was to make him willingly submit and, without reservation, open his mind completely, without any defenses, to allow him to implant the soul mark. This required a process and a reasonable excuse. Once the soul mark was implanted, even if he sensed something was amiss, it would be too late. Moreover, with the profound nature of the soul mark, he wouldn't be able to detect anything. The myriad heavens realm entered a cooldown state and couldn't be used again today. Moreover, he couldn't contact Ren Changha so soon. He had to give him some time to comprehend. Chu Xian began to cultivate the Yin Yang River God Scripture. His originally upgraded body gradually became deathly still, causing Heavenly Spirit Cat to jump in fright. The Heavenly Gold Rock and World Spirit Flower were also scared witless. As deathly energy filled the air, Chu Xian looked as if he had been dead for countless years. Suddenly, the deathly energy reversed, transforming into boundless life energy. Life and death cycle, reverse death into life, transform life into death. Chu Xian waited for someone with great destiny to approach while using the myriad heavens realm to connect to distant places. Because the connections were random, for several days, he hadn't connected to any place of value. It was either a barren desert or a vast ocean. He didn't know how Ren Chang he was doing. Chu Xian suppressed the urge to check on him, quietly waiting for the right time to continue fooling him. This man hadn't left his house for a year because he had a styrofoam system. The longer he stayed home, the more generous the rewards. Now, his daily entertainment was using a system-rewarded mirror to observe the vast world outside this dimensional wall. After these days of random connections, he had finally connected with another expert. It was a respected expert from the Western Prefecture, named Du Yuan. Xu Xian had already planted a locator on him, fooling him completely. He placed one of the myriad heavens realm's anchors on Du Yuan, so he could locate him at any time. Through their brief exchange, Xu Xian learned that the southern prefecture he was in belonged to the northern region of the 9 regions. Du Yuan hailed from the northern region. He didn't have any significant background and was currently a kung fu master of a certain family in the western prefecture. The myriad heavens realm had one anchor remaining. Xu Xian decided to use this anchor cautiously. Once all 3 anchors were used, he would have to retrieve one before he could place another. But for now, he had no intention of retrieving the anchors on either Rin Changhe or Du Yuan. Putting away the myriad heavens realm, Xu Xian was about to return to his room when he suddenly discovered someone had infiltrated the Chu family's ancestral land. It wasn't someone from the demonic cult. The person was only at Spirit Crystal 2nd stage cultivation, but the top-quality spiritual equipment he was wearing, and the certain scroll already in his hand, piqued Xu Xian's interest. Even the Chu family couldn't produce such a set of equipment, let alone the demonic cult. Xu Xian's eyes lit up. He had been looking for a capable subordinate to take over the Black Moon Tower for him. He hadn't expected a Black Moon Tower intelligence agent to deliver himself to his doorstep. This person was scouting the Chu family's ancestral land, figuring out the family's defenses, creating a map of the Chu family's ancestral land, or perhaps he was following the demonic cult's orders. Xu Xian was puzzled. The demonic cult people were crazy. Why wouldn't they leave the Chu family alone? Xiaogu carefully explored the Chu family's ancestral land. He was extremely cautious with every intelligence-gathering mission, even with his top-quality spiritual equipment. The Chu family's defenses, he didn't dare to underestimate. He wasn't far from being promoted to intelligence officer. On his way here, he kept thinking that after finishing this job, getting a promotion and raise, he could return home, marry a beautiful woman, and reach the peak of his life. However, while carefully exploring, he was always prepared to instantly self-destruct his intelligence equipment and activate his escape shield. The Black Moon Tower's intelligence discipline dictated that every intelligence agent must always be prepared to self-destruct their equipment and never leak information. Information about his identity was unnecessary. If necessary, he could sacrifice himself. As he explored, Xiaogu felt that the Chu family's land was abnormal. A giant tree stood alone on a small mound, and there was a guard who looked like a fool, standing on a branch, jumping around. What was even more absurd was that there were several dugout pits. As he walked, a large mountain appeared before him. Seeing the mountain, Xiaogu was stunned. When did the Chu family's ancestral land have a mountain? Something wasn't right. Where exactly was it wrong? He couldn't say. Should he go around the mountain or climb it? After a slight hesitation, Xiaogu decided to climb. He was curious why there was a mountain in the Chu family's ancestral land. He clearly hadn't seen a mountain outside the ancestral land. And according to the information, the Chu family's ancestral land was only 12 li in radius. Xu Xian sipped his tea, watching Xiaogu squatting outside the courtyard like a rock, and smiled. The methods of a cultivator were beyond the perception of ordinary people. You don't think that only immortals can draw circles, do you? Our protagonist can too. But the circle he draws can easily trap a fully equipped, high-level intelligence agent inside, without them even realizing it. Just a moment ago, in a certain cave in the Purple Moon Kingdom, Kuan was feeling uneasy. He had just been reprimanded by an envoy from the evil king's court. His backer was very dissatisfied with his incompetence, and even considered replacing him as the demonic cult leader of the Purple Moon Kingdom. As usual, after the demonic cult suffered heavy losses, the king's court would allocate resources to rebuild and strengthen it. However, this time, no resources were given to him. It wasn't that the evil king's court didn't have the resources to rebuild the demonic cult, but rather that they didn't trust his abilities and hadn't entrusted the resources to him. If it were just that, it would be fine. What truly made Kuan uneasy was the trend current within the Demonic cultivator circles caused by the coffin incident. The Blood King was furious, and a storm was brewing. Recently, he had been investigating the motives behind the coffin incident. He was worried that the investigation would lead to him. Even though he wasn't the one who stole the coffin. The incident happened during his tenure. Given the Blood King's current near-furious state, it was better to kill the wrong person than to let the culprit go. Hua Qingyuan was powerless. Hua Qingyuan's hatred for the Chu family deepened, almost overwhelming him. He took out the demon snow pearl, held it tightly, and made a decision. Soon after, he received a new client. The client, transferred from the Purple Moon Kingdom, was the leader of a heretical sect. He paid a hefty sum to Black Moon Tower to investigate the Chu family estate, including a detailed map of the terrain. The intent was clear: to familiarize himself with the Chu family's territory before attacking. Wan Chang, the Tower Master, was intrigued. Even Luo Wang, the heretical sect leader of the Crimson Moon Kingdom, hadn't commissioned such an extensive investigation of the Chu family. Why was Hua Qingyuan so invested? What deep-seated grudge did he hold? Regardless, Black Moon Tower accepted all commissions, as long as the price was right. Having taken the job, they were obligated to complete it. Black Moon Tower valued its reputation. Wan Chang immediately dispatched a team of skilled scouts to investigate the Chu family estate. But how could these scouts, however stealthy, escape Chu Xian's notice? Thus, the opening scene unfolded. I feel like I'm investigating the Chu family estate, but I'm actually like a stone, squatting outside the courtyard, completely motionless. To outsiders, he wasn't a person, but a rock. Chu Xian wasn't worried about Black Moon Tower's intentions. He was playing the long game. Based on his understanding of Black Moon Tower's rules, once they accepted a commission, they would complete it, lest their reputations suffer. If one informant failed, they would send a stronger one. Eventually, a big enough fish would bite. Chu Xian waited for the second fish to take the bait. 3 days passed with no report. Wan Chang frowned. Had something happened, or did thoroughly investigating the Chu family estate simply require more time? Black Moon Tower prided itself on efficiency. The faster a mission was completed, the more powerful they appeared, and as the Tower Master, Wan Chang's performance directly impacted his promotion prospects. He had already sent a recall order to the scouts. Regardless of their progress, they were to return and report. Wan Chang frowned. What could the Chu family have done to detain his scouts? Although they weren't elite, they were experienced. He reluctantly dispatched an elite informant to investigate, and also to find out what had become of the scouts. Unexpectedly, their client, Hua Qingyuan, arrived in person. Master Wan, it's been so long, and still no results. Hua Qingyuan asked, his face grim. Sect leader Hu, rest assured. Black Moon Tower always delivers, Wan Chang replied confidently. Just wait 2 or 3 days. We are known for our efficiency. While the Chu family is strong, investigating their estate is not a difficult task for us. I expect you to complete this task quickly. 3 days. I'll wait 3 more days. If there are still no results, they'll cancel the commission, Hua Qingyuan said darkly. Rest assured, sect leader Hu. Our efficiency is renowned, Wan Chang reassured him, puffing out his chest. Hua Qingyuan left abruptly. He wouldn't risk staying at Black Moon Tower. These unscrupulous people might sell him out to the Chu family, or even to the Purple Moon Kingdom. He was still worth something. Watching Hua Qingyuan leave, Wan Chang's expression darkened. He had sent out the recall order. If the client cancelled the commission due to their inefficiency, his performance review would suffer. With promotion evaluations approaching, he couldn't afford to appear incompetent. This dignified-looking man, sitting behind a curtain, seemed to be contemplating something important. Can you guess what? The man's name was Wan Chang, a promising young leader in the most mysterious intelligence agency. Just now, he had lost contact with 2 teams of informants he sent to the Chu family estate. He had underestimated them. Donning his gear, Wan Chang set off under the cover of night towards the Chu estate. Nothing would stop him from becoming an elite tower master. For 30 years, he had been stuck as an ordinary tower master. Only by becoming an elite could he access the resources needed to advance his cultivation beyond the harmonization realm. 3rd stage. Confident in his experience, he set off. A 9th stage spirit refinement realm cultivator, he had once assassinated a 1st stage nascent soul realm cultivator. He understood the Chu family's strength, but believed no one could stop him from obtaining this information, not even the King of Heaven himself. He boasted about his prowess, but his arrogance was short-lived. He didn't even know how he ended up on the ground. He was now a captive. "I'll tell you everything. Please stop hitting me." Xu Xian looked at the trembling Wan Chang and smiled. Finally, a decent-sized fish. Yai's Wan Chang had no intention of resisting. "Tell me, why are you here?" Xu Xian had a plan for this tower master. Wan Chang, as a tower master, was a valuable source of information. Xu Xian would wait for the right time to take control of the Qin Kingdom branch of Black Moon Tower. When he was strong enough, he would expand his influence further. Wan Chang dared not hide anything. Against a nascent soul realm cultivator, his oaths of secrecy were meaningless. He confessed everything about Hu Quan's commission. Xu Xian was speechless. Did he have a feud with Hu Quan? He knew what Hu Quan was planning, but what was this new trend among the heretical cultivators? He was curious what Kuan Wu had stirred up. Recently, a man named Kuan Wu has caused quite a stir, creating a trend among heretical cultivators. They now consider raiding the heretical king's palace a badge of honor. Wan Chang explained the details. Xu Xian was dumbfounded. Are these cultivators insane? Raiding the leader's office. That's crazy. Had he ever heard of such a thing? Storming in, guns blazing, even willing to die with the leader. This imposing man must have heard about the competition. His name was Xu Xian. And just now, an intelligence officer had delivered himself right to his doorstep. Wan Chang, the head of the intelligence network, offered up all his information. The target was a heretical sect. Nowadays, you couldn't brag without having a friend who raided the heretical king's palace. Clearly, heretical cultivation damaged the brain. Xu Xian placed a soul mark on Wan Chang, and also on the 3 other captives. He released the other 3 but kept Wan Chang to learn more about Black Moon Tower's structure and operations. Wan Chang, though only an ordinary tower master, knew the organization well. Tower masters were divided into ordinary, elite, copper, silver, and gold ranks, further divided into 1-star to 9-star. Wan Chang was an ordinary tower master, hoping to be promoted to gold. After your promotion, will you be in charge of the Qin Kingdom branch? Xu Xian asked, intrigued. What are the requirements for promotion? Performance, ability, and strength, Wan Chang replied. He aimed to take the current Qin Kingdom Tower Master's position. Xu Xian pondered. Black Moon Tower was a sophisticated organization, with multiple departments and responsibilities, all overseen by a central authority. Wan Chang was confident in his promotion, barring any unforeseen circumstances. Xu Xian threw him a bottle of pills. These will help you reach the harmonization realm, 3rd stage, quickly. Wan Chang was overjoyed. Thank you, Master. I will serve you faithfully. Just do your job well, and you'll be rewarded, Xu Xian said dismissively. Any new information? Send someone to report it. Yes, Master. What about Hu Quan's commission? Should we eliminate him? Wan Chang made a throat-slitting gesture. No. Don't interfere with him. Give him the map of the Chu estate. Xu Xian planned to let Hu Quan have the map. Any move Hu Quan made would lead him right to Xu Xian's courtyard. He was curious what the heretical sect leader was planning. As a nascent soul realm cultivator, he wasn't worried. Yes, Master. Wan Chang left gratefully. Without leaving his home, Xu Xian had gained control of the Qin Kingdom's Black Moon Tower. You have crafted the Parent-Child Communication Talisman Array. System Reward. Parent-Child Communication Talismans. Xu Xian checked the information. This man, Xu Xian, had just received a set of communication talismans from the system. He studied the instructions carefully. The parent talisman was the core, controlling the child talismans. The parent talisman could receive messages from all child talismans and control their actions. Child talismans could communicate with each other. A parent talisman could control at least 100 child talismans. Higher refinement levels increased the number of child talismans in communication range. The lowest level allowed communication within miles, while higher levels could reach millions of miles. Xu Xian was very pleased. He could refine these and use them for Black Moon Tower's intelligence network. With the parent talisman, he could control the flow of information and monitor all child talismans. Even if a child talisman was lost or stolen, he would know immediately. Furthermore, he could set passwords. Without the password, the talismans were useless. The parent talisman could also locate the child talismans. As far as Chu Xian knew, no such communication devices existed in the southern region. Even Black Moon Tower, renowned for its intelligence gathering, relied on special envoys. Chu Xian thought of a new way to gather intelligence. He could sell the child talismans, while keeping the parent talisman. Anyone using the talismans would be under his surveillance, especially if he sold them to major powers, who would be unaware of the parent talisman's existence. He could even set it so that both parties needed a matching imprint to communicate. This way, he could control the flow of information throughout the entire region. Chu Xian decided to refine his set and test it out. He was eager to explore its full potential. It can be used for excavation, and the messaging talismans can also be upgraded and expanded. Crafting messaging talismans wasn't difficult for Chu Xian, but mass production was troublesome. Therefore, he had to consider how to find a talented disciple to refine them for him. Chu Xian had a grand plan for the messaging talismans. If successful, it would be like building a communication network, with him controlling the main talisman. This way, he could learn the secrets of the world without leaving his home. Chu Xian looked towards the mystic realm. Why hasn't it attracted any fortunate individuals yet? I need manpower. The young man in green, once a promising youth in the Qin Kingdom's Taoist institution, now willingly served this wasteful young master. Young Master Chu, you called for me. The young man, named Xiao Gu, was currently Chu Xian's errand boy. Chu Xian spent 2 hours crafting a mother talisman and 100 child talismans. He gave Xiao Gu a few child talismans, instructing him to give them to Wan Chang. After explaining their use, Xiao Gu was shocked. As a Taoist, he understood the impact these talismans would have on communication. Chu Xian knew that if the Black Moon Tower learned about the talismans, it would attract unwanted attention. So, he decided against widespread use, giving them only to Wan Chang and a few others for emergencies. He'll wait until I'm strong enough to reveal them. The Black Moon Tower is a dangerous place. With only Earth Realm cultivation, Chu Xian felt insecure, worried about attracting powerful enemies prematurely. Xiao Gu left with the talismans. Over the next few days, Chu Xian used the myriad heavens compass to connect to other locations and occasionally chatted with Du Yuan, a respectful realm cultivator. Enjoying playing the role of a senior expert, Chu Xian would occasionally offer Du Yuan guidance. As they talked more, Du Yuan began to ask Chu Xian for advice. I've encountered something recently and would like your guidance. Tell me, Chu Xian replied, maintaining his persona of a wise elder. There's a prominent family in the western Zhou region. They had a genius, but 3 years ago, he became a cripple. Chu Xian's expression turned strange. That genius sounded like a protagonist. A genius turned cripple, now recently rejected from his engagement. And, Du Yuan continued, his father disappeared while searching for a cure. The genius suffered humiliation until 3 days ago, when he suddenly erupted, defeated his tormentors, seized family resources, and left. Now the family has put a bounty on his head. Does anyone in your family want to get involved? Chu Xian asked. Du Yuan, being a cautious cultivator, hesitated. They've located him, but he's from a powerful family, and the situation is complex. Chu Xian sensed that this genius was not simple. Don't get involved. It's a recipe for disaster. This genius, from cripple to powerhouse, is likely stepping on countless others to rise. He might even have a hidden mentor. He added after a pause, those who hunt protagonists never end well. Du Yuan, taking Chu Xian's advice, stopped his family from pursuing the genius. A few days later, Du Yuan thanked Chu Xian. As predicted, the genius rampaged, defeating numerous experts. The genius disappeared, vowing revenge on all involved parties. Chu Xian grew interested in this genius, wondering if he'd appear in the northern Zhou region's next mystic realm opening. He had a feeling this genius would soon rise to prominence. This chubby man, the strongest in the southern Zhou region, frowned. Had just learned that his disciple in the northern Zhou region was heading south. Senior. I plan to travel to the war demon ancient land. Chu Xian was startled. Du Yuan was going after a mystic realm opportunity that even he, a respectful realm expert, found tempting. The name alone suggested danger. The war demon ancient land in the southern Zhou region will open within decades, Du Yuan explained. The southern Zhou region suffered a great battle in ancient times, causing its ley lines to collapse and its laws to become incomplete. The laws are now recovering, and the war demon ancient land will reappear once they're fully restored. I want to get there early to gain an advantage. He sighed. As a rogue cultivator, I can't compete with the larger powers without preparation. I need to go before the southern Zhou region is locked down by the major forces. Xu Xian felt a surge of anxiety. If one respectful realm expert was going, what about others? This war demon ancient land was likely the site of a devastating battle between humans and demons. Once opened, it would be a treasure trove, and countless powers would want to share. Is the southern Zhou region going to become a battleground? Xu Xian felt pressured. No, not yet. I need to be stronger. He had to stop Du Yuan. Wait, let me assess the situation in the southern Zhou region, he said, putting on a show. Du Yuan was impressed by Xu Xian's apparent power. After a while, Xu Xian spoke. Little Du, heed my advice. The southern Zhou region is dangerous. You're not ready. You need to cultivate more before seeking opportunities there. Du Yuan asked hesitantly, Senior, with the southern Zhou region's collapsed ley lines and incomplete laws, there shouldn't be any Emperor Realm experts, right? Xu Xian sighed dramatically. You only see the surface. The collapse was caused by a great battle between powerful cultivators. Du Yuan gasped. Even many respectful realm experts couldn't cause such devastation. It must have been Emperor Realm experts, or even higher. Xu Xian finally relaxed. You're quick-witted. Yes, it was a battle between Emperor Realm cultivators. But they're just youngsters playing games. You, a mere respectful realm cultivator, can't handle such matters. Du Yuan's face paled? Emperor Realm experts playing games. He, a respectful realm cultivator, wouldn't even know where to begin. He was even more shocked that Xu Xian referred to Emperor Realm experts as youngsters, highlighting the vast difference in their power. Thank you, Senior. Du Yuan bowed deeply. If not for your guidance, I would have made a grave mistake. We are fated to meet. Focus on your cultivation. Do not be distracted by worldly matters. Our karmic connection ends here. Farewell. Xu Xian closed the myriad heavens compass, but he wasn't relieved. Head stopped Du Yuan, but other powerful cultivators might be aware of the war demon ancient land. Perhaps an Earth realm expert was hiding in the southern Zhou region, manipulating events. He had to get stronger and prepare backup plans. He thought of Renchanghe, a renowned genius who reached the Emperor realm in just 10,000 years. Had recently shared a profound cultivation technique, the Yin-Yang harmony scripture, with Renchanghe, only to have the man grasp a mirror of it, prompting Xu Xian to mock his comprehension skills. Now, he considered using Renchanghe as a safeguard. If he could convince Renchanghe to accept a soul imprint, he could call upon him in case of trouble in the southern Zhou region. With the Yin-Yang harmony scripture, Renchanghe could potentially reach the peak of the Emperor realm or even higher, enough to stabilize the situation. My talent is wasted. Renchanghe lamented, looking up at Xu Xian's projected image with excitement. Senior. He was nearly in tears. Had been trying to comprehend the cycle of life and death, but it backfired, costing him years of lifespan. Terrified, Had stopped cultivating but was unwilling to be trapped. He questioned his own talent. Why couldn't he grasp it? Senior, my talent is wasted. I can't comprehend it. Please guide me. Renchanghe knelt, his pride as a peak Emperor realm expert gone. He had dedicated his life to cultivation. If not for his pride, he would have begged Xu Xian to accept him as a disciple. He was lost and needed guidance. Kutu sought Xu Xian to be his disciple. Xu Xian pondered for a moment, then shook his head. Taking you as a disciple is out of the question, Xu Xian said after a long silence. However, it seems we are fated to meet. I can temporarily accept you as a nominal disciple. Do you agree? Renchanghe, overjoyed, kowtowed repeatedly. Disciple is willing. A nominal disciple is still a disciple. Xu Xian continued, although you are a nominal disciple, I must leave this place and venture into the myriad worlds. Your strength is far too weak. Normally, you wouldn't qualify, Xu Xian paused. But I can make an exception and allow you to enter the myriad worlds. Implant this soul seal into your soul. Renchanghe's eyes lit up. Xu Xian flicked his wrist, condensing a soul seal and transmitting it through the myriad world's mirror. Whether he accepts it or not is his choice. However, once implanted, he will be unable to resist my will. He won't be able to harbor any ill will towards me, and will have to act according to my wishes. Renchanghe, looking at the small seal that appeared before him, didn't hesitate and directly absorbed it into his soul. He was a decisive man. Whether or not this is a trap, how much longer can I survive if I remain trapped? It's worth a gamble. You'll soon know if it's real or fake. After absorbing the soul seal, Renshangha felt something was amiss, but he couldn't quite place it. At this moment, he felt more respect for the man before him, unable to harbor any negative feelings. Seeing Renshangha absorb the seal, Chu Xian was overjoyed. Finally, I've hooked one. A peak heaven realm cultivator. Chu Xian sensed the soul seal within Renshang's soul. Now firmly imprinted as if it were innate. Unless his soul is shattered and he perishes, it cannot be removed. Perfect. Ding dong. You have successfully taken on a disciple without leaving your home. Reward. Years of cultivation base and an intermediate chapter of the soul forging technique. Triggering a random reward from the system, Chu Xian was ecstatic about the years of cultivation. A few more rewards like this and he'll soon break through to the respect realm. The subsequent reward for the soul forging technique arrived. Having cultivated it for so long, Chu Xian understood its power. Excellent. My breakthrough is in sight. However, Chu Xian didn't immediately claim the years of cultivation and the intermediate chapter. Instead, he transmitted the Yin-Yang harmony scripture to Renshangha. Claiming the rewards would require time to digest. And cutting off the connection now could cause Renshangha to panic, thinking he encountered a glitch. As my disciple, I shall impart a powerful technique, the Yin-Yang harmony scripture. Once mastered, it allows one to cycle between life and death, turning death into life and life into death, grasping the great Tao of Yin and Yang. Renshangha bowed deeply. Thank you, Master. Listen carefully, Chu Xian's body radiated divine light, making him appear even more profound. His words, like the voice of the great Tao, were transmitted to Renshangha through the myriad world's mirror. Chu Xian had fully grasped the Yin-Yang harmony scripture, though his cultivation was lower than Renshang's. His understanding of the scripture far surpassed him. Renshangha felt enlightened as he listened to the Yin-Yang harmony scripture. My choice was right. This is my opportunity. This scripture is extraordinary, pointing directly to the great Tao of Yin and Yang. After transmitting the scripture, Chu Xian asked, how much have you comprehended? Renshangha felt ashamed. Master, disciple is unworthy. I've only grasped less than 30%. Chu Xian was speechless. Was Renshang's comprehension that poor, or was the Yin-Yang harmony scripture too profound? He didn't feel the scripture was difficult to understand. Though, admittedly, the system directly instilled complete understanding. Even without the system, Chu Xian felt it wouldn't take him long to grasp it. Renshangha had reached the peak of the heaven realm. His talent shouldn't be poor. Furthermore, Renshangha had spent tens of thousands of years cultivating to the peak of heaven realm, a testament to his talent. This could only mean that the Yin-Yang harmony scripture was even more profound than he had imagined. This poor old man was no ordinary cultivator. He had once been a peerless genius, yet now, he was trapped in a miasma of death energy for over 10,000 years, unable to break free. He had even started to weaken from the death energy, and was nearing his end. This old man was named Renshangha. Just now, Chu Xian had tricked him into becoming his disciple and transmitted the Yin-Yang harmony scripture to him. Unfortunately, the old man's talent was too poor, only comprehending 30% of the scripture. Looking up, he saw Chu Xian hadn't spoken. Renshangha felt ashamed and worried that Chu Xian regretted accepting him as a disciple. He resolved to cultivate diligently, and not disappoint his master. Let me explain the profound art of refining death energy into life force, Chu Xian said, his tone betraying no emotion. Thank you, master. Renshangha felt slightly relieved. Chu Xian then proceeded to explain to Renshangha how to refine death energy into life force. It took half an hour for Renshangha to fully grasp it. Cultivate diligently and comprehend it well. After explaining, Chu Xian cut off the energy input and closed the myriad world's mirror. Being a teacher is hard work. Farewell, master. Renshangha bowed deeply, then raised his head with determination in his eyes. I, Renshangha, belong to no one. I will not disappoint master. Renshangha began cultivating the Yin-Yang harmony scripture. Once he succeeded in refining death energy into life force, he would no longer worry about his predicament. Once he mastered the cycle of life and death, escaping would be no problem. His strength would also increase, with the hope of breaking through to the legendary sage realm. After closing the myriad world's mirror, Chu Xian immediately claimed his rewards. A surge of years of cultivation flooded his body. Whoosh! His cultivation began to rise. Earth Realm Stage 3, Earth Realm Stage 4 finally. His strength reached Earth Realm Stage 5. Chu Xian sighed. The higher his cultivation, the slower his progress. Years of cultivation only allowed him to advance 3 stages. He then claimed the intermediate chapter of the soul forging technique. Compared to the basic chapter, the intermediate chapter not only enhanced soul cultivation methods, but also added soul defense and attack techniques. Chu Xian immediately condensed a soul spear, capable of harming only the soul, making it incredibly difficult to defend against. This greatly enhanced Chu Xian's soul defense and attack capabilities. The enhanced soul forging diagram had received previously was no longer as effective. It took several hours of cultivation for him to feel a slight improvement, indicating its diminishing returns. Too slow, Chu Xian sighed. When will I get something better? After his breakthrough, Chu Xian immediately contacted Wan Chang through the messaging talisman, instructing him to gather information on the war demon's burial ground and whether any powerful cultivators from the outer regions had arrived in Nanzhou. He also asked him to keep an eye on whether any Earth Realm experts from the Black Moon Tower had come to Nanzhou. Wan Chang's position in the Black Moon Tower was still too low. Even after being promoted to Silver Rank Tower Lord, he only controlled the Black Moon Tower's operations within the Qin Kingdom. He couldn't access higher-level intelligence or the Black Moon Tower's broader movements. Chu Xian decided to expand his control within the Black Moon Tower. Once Wan Chang became a Silver Rank Tower Lord, and controlled the Qin Kingdom's operations, he would find a way to transfer him. Only then could he gradually take control of the Black Moon Tower. A day later, Wan Chang sent a message. He had no information on the war demon's burial ground. With his current authority, he couldn't find any related information within the Black Moon Tower. Chu Xian wasn't surprised. Wan Chang's rank was still too low. He then instructed him to be promoted to Gold Rank Tower Lord quickly. He also gave Wan Chang a soul seal to control his superior, the Gold Rank Tower Lord. Earth Realm Stage 5 strength wasn't enough. He needed to reach the Respect Realm to be safe. Fortunately, there was still time before the war demon's burial ground opened, and no outer region cultivators had arrived yet. He could still stabilize the situation for a while. Over the next half-month, Chu Xian focused on cultivation, and observed Du Yuan several times, confirming he hadn't left Shizhou. This put him at ease. During this period, he contacted Ren Changha again to explain the yin-yang harmony scripture. Ren Changha was no longer lifeless, his body now emanating a strong life force. His condition had slightly improved, but he was still far from full recovery or escape. Wan Chang had also been promoted to Gold Rank Tower Lord and now controlled the Qin Kingdom's operations. He had also contacted his superior, the Silver Rank Tower Lord, Yao Xiong. Yao Xiong, the Black Moon Tower's Silver Rank Tower Lord and Wan Chang's direct superior, stood respectfully before Chu Xian, cursing Wan Chang in his mind. Wan Chang had arranged a private meeting with Yao Xiong, during which Chu Xian, using his Earth Realm power, had subdued Yao Xiong and implanted a soul seal into his soul. Now under Chu Xian's control, Yao Xiong had been sent here. Do you know about the war demon's burial ground? Chu Xian asked. Reporting to Master, this subordinate does not. Yao Xiong shook his head. As expected, information about the war demon's burial ground was highly classified. Even a Silver Rank Tower Lord didn't have access. The war demon's burial ground was a secret. Only once it was revealed and required the Black Moon Tower's attention would these Tower Lords have access to the information. Chu Xian released a strand of Earth Realm power, imbuing it with a soul seal. Take this and control your superior, the Gold Rank Tower Lord. As long as they're not a Respect Realm expert, they won't be able to resist this power. Yao Xiong left with the strand of Earth Realm power, feeling uneasy. The Black Moon Tower was about to experience a major upheaval. With this person's methods, controlling Tower Lords undetected, step by step, he could eventually become the true master of the Black Moon Tower, surpassing even the Diamond Rank Tower Lords. Yao Xiong's superior, the Gold Rank Tower Lord, controlled far more resources than a Silver Rank Tower Lord. Even so, he still hadn't access to information regarding the war demon's burial ground. Fan Chao stood respectfully before Chu Xian, cursing Yao Xiong's entire ancestry in his heart for setting him up. Chu Xian gained further understanding of the Black Moon Tower's structure. The Black Moon Tower primarily consisted of the Tower Lord Department, the Logistics Department, and the Protector Department. The Tower Lord Department was the core, responsible for the tower's operations. The Logistics Department provided resources like cultivation manuals and pills. Notably, intelligence agents also belonged to the Tower Lord Department. The Protector Department was responsible for the tower's security, a specialized force cultivated by the Black Moon Tower. Among the three departments, the Tower Lords held the most power. Power and strength were intertwined. The higher the rank, the greater the strength requirement. Fan Chao was a gold-ranked Tower Lord, managing 3 silver-ranked Tower Lords, Yao Xiong being one of them. Nanzhou had 7 gold-ranked Tower Lords in total. Still unable to obtain information about the War Demon's burial ground, Chu Xian had to continue. His next target was a diamond-ranked Tower Lord. He again condensed a strand of Earth Realm power with a soul seal and instructed Fan Chao to control his superior. The diamond-ranked Tower Lord. Fan Chao, like Yao Xiong, felt that a major change was coming to the Black Moon Tower. However, once the soul seal was implanted, even with a clear mind, he couldn't resist and had to follow Chu Xian's orders. A major change was indeed coming to the Black Moon Tower. Many things could make a man blush, but this man never dreamed that a dignified diamond-ranked Tower Lord of the Black Moon Tower would be a stunningly beautiful woman. Even more unexpectedly, she spoke with a soft, melodious voice. "Greetings, young master," the beautiful woman said respectfully. Her name was Bao Hongyan. The man's name was Chu Xian. Facing such captivating beauty, he was taken aback. Fan Chaos Superior, the diamond-ranked Tower Lord, was actually a woman. This was tactically advantageous. After a brief moment of surprise, he got straight to the point. "How many diamond-ranked Tower Lords are there in Nanzhou?" "Reporting to Master, there are 3, Bao Hongyan replied respectfully, cursing Fan Chao internally. She was also wary of Chu Xian's methods. With this young man's abilities, the Black Moon Tower might not even notice their manipulation. He hadn't expected such a terrifying figure to emerge from the Chu family. Moreover, he had already extended his reach into the Black Moon Tower. Which Earth Realm expert is backing the Black Moon Tower in Nanzhou? This was the question that intrigued Chu Xian the most. Even the Evil King sect, a powerful force of evil cultivators, didn't dare to offend the Black Moon Tower. Without a powerful backing, this wouldn't be possible. It's a diamond-ranked Tower Lord. Rumor has it, he's only half a step away from the Earth Sage realm. Generally, experts who aren't afraid of the Gu family are quite powerful. Perhaps even Earth Realm experts. Bao Hongyan wasn't sure. After some thought, she dismissed the idea of controlling the Golden Token Pavilion Master. If the expert was at the Earth Realm, and only possessed a trace of Earth Realm power, she wouldn't be able to control them discreetly. If exposed, her current achievements would be for naught. About the War Demon Boneland. Do you know anything? Bao Hongyan, the Golden Token Pavilion Master, finally had some information about the War Demon Boneland. According to Bao Hongyan, in ancient times, the Emo clan ran rampant. Across time and space, their strength unfathomable. The War Demon Boneland was the ancient battlefield, within the southern region during the final battle against the Emo clan. It was this battle that shattered the southern region's spatial fabric and damaged its laws. Because of this, all experts above the Earth Realm were forced to leave. This is why there are no Earth Realm experts in the southern region today. The War Demon Boneland from that era was affected by the shattered spatial fabric and broken laws, resulting in a rift in space. According to calculations, when the southern region's spatial fabric recovers and its laws are restored, the War Demon Boneland will reappear. In the final battle against the Emo clan, numerous powerful experts fell, and among them, there must be many treasures and inheritances. Therefore, major forces will send people to investigate. Of course, the reappearance of the War Demon Boneland is still far off. Within 20 or 30 years, there likely won't be any major forces setting foot in the southern region. Chu Xian breathed a sigh of relief. 20 or 30 years was enough time for him to grow stronger. But he couldn't relax. What if there were rogue cultivators like Du Yuan who secretly came to the southern region ahead of time? Bao Hongyan, pay close attention to Earth Realm experts and above appearing in the southern region. If you find any information about them, tell me immediately. He then casually gave Bao Hongyan a communication device to maintain contact. With Bao Hongyan's status as Golden Token Pavilion Master, she had access to most information concerning the southern region. The southern region was still quite lively. Murders, treasure hunts, and occasional small family annihilations happened. Clashes between good and evil occurred almost daily. Chu Xian's life returned to its peaceful rhythm. After a month of uneventful boredom, Chu Xian stared at the Destiny secret shop for a long while. Why hasn't a person with great destiny shown up yet? Why is it so hard to find a disciple, preferably a female one? At dinner time, Bu Yi brought the food. Chu Xian noticed something different. Why has the server changed? And, how come they're trying so hard and haven't had any customers with great destiny visit? When it was time to eat, Bu Yi didn't bring the food over. Chu Xian noticed something was different. Why is there a new server? And, it's a woman. The key point was that the woman was clearly in disguise, concealing her true identity. Chu Xian was immediately intrigued. He used his Heavenly Secrets insight technique. Su Xianer, 26 years old, lunarine body, immense destiny, from the Su family of the Central Region. Escaped an arranged marriage, fled the Su family, entered an ancient incomplete teleportation formation, and arrived in the Southern Region. Disguised herself and hid in the Chu family. The fiancé is pursuing her. A person of great destiny has arrived. And a female one at that. Chu Xian was ecstatic. His reverse psychology had actually worked. Su Xianer possessed the special lunarine body, a physique with extraordinary talent. Despite being only 26, she was already at the second level of the Void Spirit realm. In the Southern Region, this was considered an absolute genius. Su Xianer served the dishes and retreated. But her mind was racing. Will the Su family find me here? The Southern Region is remote, and the Chu family is just a small family in the Central Region, inconspicuous. As long as I hide well, I shouldn't be exposed. To minimize exposure, she had chosen this food delivery task. She had inquired thoroughly and found out that the person living in the small courtyard was the useless young master of the Chu family. Being his food server wouldn't attract attention. She could use her free time for cultivation. Su Xianer inwardly cursed her elder sister. With her status, she had actually pushed the arranged marriage onto her. And her foolish father had actually agreed. As Su Xianer was fuming, a blinding 7-colored light suddenly shone before her. Su Xianer, from the Su family of the Central Region, escaping an arranged marriage. Entering an ancient incomplete teleportation formation, arriving in the Southern Region. Chu Xian's resounding voice rang out. She looked up, mouth agape, completely stunned. The rumored useless young master of the Chu family was bathed in 7-colored divine light. He seemed majestic. Su Xianer dropped the tray in her hand, staring at Chu Xian. Don't be afraid. This young master has a position open. It requires a female attendant. Are you willing? Chu Xian, with an air of righteousness, asked. The young woman was originally the esteemed eldest daughter of the Su family in the Central Region. Simply because of her status as a collateral branch member, her jealous elder sister had harmed her. And her foolish father had turned a blind eye. Now, to escape an arranged marriage, she disguised herself and hid in the Chu family, only to deliver food to the so-called useless young master. Yet was publicly asked to be a servant girl. The young woman's name was Su Xianer. Just moments ago, her identity had been effortlessly exposed by the man before her. Su Xianer was utterly shocked. The person living in the small courtyard wasn't the rumored useless young master of the Chu family. What was going on? Who was he? This is your opportunity. You possess the special lunarine body, but the cultivation technique you practice cannot fully utilize its potential. Become my servant and achieve greatness beyond your wildest dreams. Chu Xian's divine light washed over Su Xianer. Her disguise instantly melted away, revealing her stunning beauty. Su Xianer was now in a dilemma. He had seen through her disguise, but how? Who was he? To become his servant was unthinkable. How could she resist? He was incredibly powerful. If she refused, what would happen? Would he force her? Lunarine body. Su Xianer realized her physique was special, but she didn't know the specifics. The man before her, with a single sentence, had revealed the truth. He must be an incredibly powerful and knowledgeable expert. Was this her opportunity? For a moment, Su Xianer couldn't decide. You came here to escape your arranged marriage. This is your opportunity. What makes you think? The righteous Chu Xian was inwardly ecstatic. Such a beautiful maid. That this young master covets your beauty. No, just because you come from the Su family, do you think being my servant is beneath you? No, it's not. Su Xian'er gritted her teeth. Su Xian'er greets master. She bowed respectfully. Good. From now on, don't call me master, call me mister. Chu Xian's divine light receded, revealing his true appearance. Yes, mister. Su Xian'er looked up, and was mesmerized by Chu Xian. He's so handsome. Her first thought was, if my fiancé was this handsome, I wouldn't have run away. Rise. Yes, mister. Su Xian'er stood up, her heart a whirlwind of emotions. Just a few days in the southern region, and she had become someone's servant girl. And Chu Xian didn't look old at all, perhaps only 25 or 26. You obtained a great destiny individual without leaving your home. You have taken a servant girl and established the Lunarine Prime Celestial Sect. The system's voice echoed. Chu Xian wasn't surprised. Lunarine Prime Celestial was clearly a cultivation technique perfectly suited for Su Xian'er's Lunarine body, able to maximize its potential. He turned to Su Xian'er, who was fidgeting and looking for an escape route. Come here. Yes, Su Xian'er paled. She swallowed nervously. Is he going to do that sort of thing? My innocence. Since you are my servant, today I will impart you the cultivation method. Chu Xian extended a finger and touched Su Xian'er's forehead. Su Xian'er was startled and tried to dodge, but couldn't. A beam of light entered her mind. A complete cultivation technique unfolded within. Su Xian'er's eyes fluttered closed, as she involuntarily absorbed the technique. After a full hour, she opened her eyes. Her aura fluctuated as she broke through to the third level of the void spirit realm. Su Xian'er was ecstatic. There was no resistance, no fear, only gratitude. It was a legendary cultivation technique, surpassing even divine-level techniques. With it, even reaching the heavenly spirit realm wasn't impossible. Thank you, mister. She bowed deeply. Good. Chu Xian tossed her a communication device and a bottle of pills. They were void spirit pills, specifically for void spirit realm cultivation. Cultivate diligently. I took you as a servant for errands. Help me organize information and such. Su Xian'er blinked. He had taken her in just for errands. He wasn't planning on anything else. Mister is so handsome and powerful, I wouldn't resist. He'll also teach you a concealment technique. Even heavenly spirit realm experts won't be able to see through it. Chu Xian taught Su Xian'er a concealment technique far superior to her current one. Cultivation techniques, secret techniques, Chu Xian possessed them all. For Su Xian'er, Chu Xian was quite impressive. Handsome, talented, and perfect for errands. From now on, he could entrust her with Black Moon Tower matters. She was a little weak currently, but with her talent and the Lunarine Prime Celestial technique, coupled with his resources, she would improve rapidly. This is Black Moon Tower intelligence. Su Xian'er looked at the information on the communication device, and exclaimed in shock, Mister, are you a high-ranking member of the Black Moon Tower? Chu Xian shook his head. It seemed the Black Moon Tower had a presence in the central region. And a powerful one at that. Not yet. I've merely extended a hand into the Black Moon Tower. Su Xian'er was stunned. What did extended a hand mean? Mister, the Su family must have commissioned the Black Moon Tower to search for me. You won't be found here. Don't worry. The Black Moon Tower in the southern region won't reveal your information. His phantom image at night would also prevent her exposure. Su Xian'er would represent him, and all intelligence would be handled through her. The Black Moon Tower wouldn't dare reveal her information. Now with an errand runner, things would be much easier. Chu Xian planned to control the other two Golden Token Pavilion Masters as well. Chu Xian was a low-key person and didn't have Su Xian'er change back into her female attire. He gave her a simple servant's outfit, making her look unremarkable. She was annoyed that he was actually treating her like a servant, and also prevent her from being exposed. Su Xian'er would act as his representative, and all intelligence gathering would be her responsibility. The Black Moon Tower wouldn't dare leak her information. Now with an errand runner, things would be much easier. Chu Xian was planning to bring the other two Golden Token Pavilion Masters under his control as well. Chu Xian was a low-key person and didn't have Su Xian'er revert to her usual attire. He gave her simple servant clothes, making her look unassuming. She was slightly annoyed that Chu Xian was actually treating her like a servant, oblivious to the fact that he was the true power behind the scenes. Just now, Bao Hongyan, accompanied by Chu Xian's 2 strands of Earth Realm power and 2 soul shadows, left. Su Xian'er was curious. Who was that mature beauty, and what business did she have with Chu Xian? Mr., who was she? After Bao Hongyan left, Su Xian'er asked, what was she doing with Chu Xian? Mr., who was she? After Bao Hongyan left, Su Xian'er asked, one of us. Don't worry. Chu Xian casually handed her another communication device. From now on, you'll be in contact with her. Relay messages and organize useful intelligence for me. Su Xian'er was shocked. Chu Xian had silently taken control of the southern region's Black Moon Tower. His methods were terrifying. She suspected he was planning to take over the entire Black Moon Tower step by step. As Chu Xian's servant, Su Xian'er indirectly controlled the southern region's Black Moon Tower. She finally breathed a sigh of relief. News of her being in the southern region wouldn't leak, and she could use the Black Moon Tower to learn whether the Su family had discovered her location and whether they were taking action. Life continued peacefully. In the blink of an eye, Chu Xian had been in the courtyard for almost 3 years. The oranges were still not quite as good, but far better than those from Heavenly Peak Mountain. He hadn't expected Yun Mai's aptitude for cultivation to manifest here. One day, Chu Xian was in the courtyard examining the cultivation techniques Chu Yun had brought him. Over the past 2 years, Chu Yun had returned several times. They are all sending single medicines to Chu Xian. By the way, they are turning over the charcoal and the cultivation experience prepared by Chu Xian for him. Sir, there seems to be some change in the Qin family. Su Xian'er handed over a piece of information. The Qin family changed. The first thing that came to Chu Xian's mind was Qin Qiyun's voice. If the Qin family changed, it can't be unrelated to him. After taking a look at the information, the current Qin emperor of the Qin kingdom, the contemporary head of the Qin family, has abdicated. It seems that he was forced to abdicate. Currently, the Qin kingdom is in a state where the old emperor has abdicated and the new emperor has not yet ascended the throne. The Qin family is in a state of no head. That's all. No more. Chu Xian was obviously not satisfied with this half-baked information. Yes. The more specific changes, the Black Moon Tower has not been able to find out. The Zhao family, the He family, and the Chu family currently do not know the changes in the Qin family. Chu Xian realized that the situation in the Qin kingdom was about to change, and even the entire southern region was about to change. Small countries like Dayu's state and Zu's state might be negatively impacted and unified. The rebirth of the Fox Demon and the soul of the Fox Demon made Chu Xian feel uneasy, but he didn't know whether this matter is for humans or for demons. The scene shifts to the Qin family's ancestral temple. All the Qin family's enemies and the Qin family's ancestors are gathered in the ancestral temple. On the altar stands a young man. He has an unparalleled appearance, but there are also a few traces of strange expressions on his delicate face. Those bright eyes flickered with a demonic light. Qin Qiyun, he seems to still look delicate, but the ruthlessness on his face and the demonic gaze all indicate his difference. From today onwards, I am the Empress of the Qin Kingdom, the head of the Qin family. Whoever opposes, whoever supports. Qin Qiyun looked down at the Qin family members below. The entire ancestral temple was silent. Among the Qin family members, no one opposed or supported. In the entire ancestral temple, only 2 people were standing. And the rest were kneeling on the ground. One of the 2 standing was Qin Qiyun standing on the altar, and the other was Qin Pingxia standing under the altar. The ancient demon emperor's palace will open. This is the opportunity for the Qin family to rise. If anyone doesn't agree with me, they can stand up. As long as they can take one move from me, the position of the head of the Qin family will belong to them. Still no one spoke. Since you all support me, then from today onwards, what I say goes in the Qin family, and what I say goes in the Qin kingdom. Qin Qiyun's aura exploded, revealing the true strength of the 9th level of the Earth Realm. Now, obey my orders. Everyone, offer a drop of your blood essence to open the Qin family's altar. Qin Qiyun ordered. Qin Pingxia immediately offered a drop of blood essence. Facing Qin Qiyun, and pointed his finger. Looking at everyone with a proud expression, the rest of the people kneeling on the ground hesitated for a moment, then offered their blood essence one after another. Floating towards the altar. Qin Qiyun raised his head slightly, and all the blood essence gathered in his palm, forming a symbol, and merging into the center of the altar. The smooth surface of the altar shone, and a hazy figure slowly emerged from the altar. Even though it was just a hazy figure, it gave people a powerful pressure. Everyone present felt it was difficult to breathe. All the Qin family members looked at the hazy figure on the altar, and their hearts were filled with shock. The altar is the place guarded by generations of the Qin family. It is said that it was built by the ancestor of the Qin family. However, the specific use of the altar has been lost over time. Until now, it is only known that cultivating on the altar can make it easier to break through bottlenecks. Cultivate faster, and have a more solid foundation. This is also the reason why the Qin family has always been stronger than the other three families. Qingyun pays respects to the ancestor. Qingyun knelt down, and a white-haired phantom appeared behind him, also kneeling. The hazy phantom lowered its head and looked at Qingyun, who was kneeling on the ground. The two eyes of the phantom suddenly shone, and a spiritual message was transmitted. Qingyun, you have finally come. All the Qin family members were shocked and excited. Could it be that the ancestor of the Qin family has resurrected? Legend has it that the ancestor of the Qin family's strength reached the heavens. Ancestor, the Qin family has declined. The Qin kingdom has long been in decline. Qingyun is incompetent, and is willing to revive the Qin kingdom. Qingyun said in a low voice. The phantom raised its head and stroked Qingyun's head, and then stroked its white-haired phantom again. Okay. The phantom's eyes shot out two rays of light, merging into Qingyun's head. The phantom gradually began to dissipate. Descendants of the Qin family, respect Qingyun. Bring the turtle. The phantom disappeared, and a vortex-like entrance opened in the center of the altar. Qingyun took another step closer, but still hadn't broken through to the earth realm. Looking at the altar, get up. These young people would never have imagined that the spirit on the stage was actually a reborn, a seemingly well-behaved girl, who was actually a reborn fox demon with the soul of a fox demon. The girl's name is Qingyun. Just now, following her order, the Qin family members stood up and looked at the woman on the altar. Everyone. It was not difficult to guess that she had some connection with the ancestor of the Qin family. The Qin family's inheritance has been passed down. Just now, the ancestor bestowed the inheritance and revived the Qin family's glory. Everyone, work hard to cultivate. Qingyun took out a blank booklet, transferred the cultivation technique onto it, and handed it to Qin Pingxia. I will hand over the inherited cultivation technique to Qin Pingxia. He will pass it on to everyone. By the way, Zhao Hui is the strongest expert of the Qin family in the Great Qian. The Zhao family, He family, and Chu family were originally ministers of the Qin family. From today onwards, the Qin kingdom will no longer be contested by the four families. Everyone dared not speak. Qin Pingxia hesitated for a moment. Qingyun, the Great Qian probably won't let the Qin family experts return. It doesn't matter. When I come out of seclusion, the Great Qian will agree. After taking Qin Pingxia away, Qingyun entered the passage in the center of the altar, arriving in a small space, sitting cross-legged, and starting to consolidate her cultivation. The white-haired phantom appeared, and her divine soul power began to spread out. She was originally a reborn fox demon. It was much easier for her to recover and break through to the earth realm than others. However, due to the incomplete rules of the southern region, she could not break through to the earth realm. In this special space, there was a chance to break through to the earth realm, but her accumulation was not enough, so she couldn't break through in a short time. If she wanted to improve her strength in a short time, there was only one way, which was to rely on the fox demon soul to construct the earth realm's power. Even if it was just a hazy, it was enough to make her the strongest among the half-step earth realm experts. Only in this way would she be qualified to compete with the Great Qian Empire. No one knew what had happened to the Qin family. Even the Black Moon Tower only knew that there had been changes in the Qin family, but they couldn't find out the specifics. Xu Xian didn't care about the changes in the Qin family. No matter how it changed, it wouldn't affect him. For now, he was still the most powerful figure in the southern region. At this moment, Xu Xian was looking at a piece of information about the Qin family sent by the Black Moon Tower. The Qin family sent people to the Great Qian Empire to summon the Qin family's experts. The Great Qian Empire was the common master of the southern region countries and also the strongest force against the evil king's court. It had never relaxed its control over the various countries. The Earth Realm experts of other countries had to go to the Great Qian to await appointment and were not allowed to leave the Great Qian Empire without permission. In other words, they were hostages. The Qin family publicly challenged the Great Qian. It seemed there was a good show to watch. Xu Xian was very curious about where the Qin family got the confidence to challenge the Great Qian Empire. Ding dong, your maid Su Xianer has broken through her realm under your superb training methods. Reward. 10 years of cultivation. Su Xianer broke through, and the system rewarded him with cultivation. Xu Xian was overjoyed and immediately claimed the reward, feeling that he was strong again. 10 years of cultivation poured down, and his strength improved further, but he didn't break through to the Earth Realm. Xu Xian wasn't surprised. The 10-year cultivation reward wasn't enough to break through the realm, but he discovered a possible way to quickly increase his cultivation through rewards. Teaching others skills and cultivation techniques rewarded him with cultivation. Su Xianer's breakthrough to the Earth Realm also rewarded him with cultivation. Therefore, taking in disciples and training them was the key to increasing cultivation. Xu Xian was overjoyed. He had finally found a way to quickly increase his strength. Sir, Su Xianer poked her head out, speaking excitedly. Xu Xian, of course, knew what this girl wanted to say. What's the matter? Today is a great day for you to break through to the Earth Realm, but you still need to double cultivate to improve further. Su Xianer's eyes widened. How did he know that? A woman just ascended the throne and became empress, and the next second she wants to force a young man from the common people into her harem. It was pointed out that she had been rejected by a handsome man before ascending the throne, and she is the reincarnation of a fox demon. How can she swallow this? The woman's name is Qingyun. Ever since she made that declaration on the altar that day, that she would no longer take the Great Qian seriously, she has been in closed-door cultivation. 3 days later, news began to shake the entire southern region. Qingyun ascended the throne, claiming to be the empress of the Great Qin, and the Qin kingdom also changed its name to the Great Qin Empire. No longer a vassal state of the Great Qian Empire. In the southern region, the title of empire wasn't given lightly. An emperor of the Great Qian Empire was once the last emperor-level expert in the southern region. The emperor's inheritance has lasted for 9 generations, something the Qin kingdom could not compare to. On the same day that Qingyun ascended the throne, she personally went to the Great Qian Empire and demanded that the Great Qian Empire release the Qin family. On this day, everyone knew about the power of this empress of the Great Qin. She suppressed 10 experts of the Great Qian Empire and defeated the current emperor of the Great Qian Empire. On her way back, she even took the experts of the Qin, Zhao, He, and Shu families who were in the Great Qian Empire back with her. She fought with the current evil king of the evil king's court. With her powerful strength, she severely injured the current evil king. The southern region was shaken. The empress of the Great Qin was even hailed as the strongest expert in the southern region. Who was closest to the Earth Realm? Su Xianer reported while sighing, and she's only years old. The Earth Realm experts of the Zhao, He, and Shu families who returned with Qingyun all stayed in the Great Qin Empire and didn't return to their respective families. Hearing this news, Xu Xian just curled his lips. He seemed to have expected this. This kind of thing was bound to happen. But he couldn't help sighing in his heart. The fox demon soul has revived. She's already close to the Earth Realm so quickly. It seems that the situation of the 4 families sharing power in the Qin kingdom is about to end. Empress of the Great Qin, how domineering. Too arrogant. Su Xianer looked at Xu Xian with admiration. Xu Xian glanced at her. What? Do you also want to be an empress? No, I just want to stay by your side, sir. Su Xianer said with a charming smile. You have to remember, whether it's empress or emperor, it's all just a title. Strength is the most important thing. As long as you are strong enough, what empress? You can suppress them with one hand. Sir is right. Su Xianer completely agreed. Because her biggest wish was to wait until she was strong enough to return to the middle region and suppress the Su family with one hand, too. But it must be said that this little girl, or rather, this old fox demon, was still very domineering. Xu Xian looked at the information about Qingyun, muttering to himself. Suddenly, Xu Xian's expression turned strange. Someone's outside. Not long after, the gate of the small courtyard was pushed open with a bang. A voice appeared, Xu Xian. A stunningly beautiful face appeared. It was Qin Qiyun. Qin Qiyun, what are you doing here? Chu Xian asked with a surprised expression. Qin Qiyun frowned slightly, looking at Chu Xian who was lazily sitting on the chair, with a serious expression on her face. Chu Xian, I am now the Empress of the Great Qin. I want to marry you. Su Xianer's expression turned serious. Marry Chu Xian? What was she thinking? Chu Xian was stunned. Marry me? Are you kidding me? Yes. Qin Qiyun nodded. I am now the emperor. Of course, my harem cannot be empty. Come, let this king favor you. After saying that, she lunged towards Chu Xian like a lovesick fool. Hold on, you want a harem? Chu Xian's expression turned strange. As expected of a reborn old fox demon. Her thoughts were truly unconstrained. No. Qin Qiyun shook her head. Handsome men are too rare. Your 3 older brothers don't know where they've run off to. Currently, you are the only one in my harem. Won't you consider it? It's a good deal for you. You won't have this opportunity in the future. After saying that, she tried to get closer. Chu Xian saw the slightly predatory look in her eyes. And the muscles on his face twitched. He touched his face and said, I don't deny that I'm good looking, but I don't like men. I'm a man. Why would I marry someone? You can't refuse. Qin Qiyun smiled mischievously. So you're at Sundara. It doesn't matter. If you agree, I can make an exception and give the Chu family greater benefits. If you don't agree, I can also capture you now. Chu Xian's face turned cold. And divine light and aura erupted from his body. A supreme and majestic voice sounded, and Chu Xian shouted, Kneel. As soon as the words were spoken, the law followed. Qin Qiyun knelt down. The oppressive force disappeared, and the white-haired phantom disappeared. Her expression was filled with shock. What kind of strength was it that could suppress her with a single word? Qin Qiyun knelt on the ground, her face pale, looking pitiful, without a trace of the emperor's aura. Chu Xian looked at her smugly, his eyes flashing. Empress of the Great Qin, who gave you the courage to be so presumptuous in front of me? This woman was once the Empress of the Great Qin in ancient times, and the white-haired fox demon she respected was actually a former enemy. However, in the devastating and protracted human-demon war, in order to lead her people to escape, she sacrificed herself, resulting in the destruction of her physical body and the escape of her soul. Now, she has been reborn into the Qin family. The woman's name is Qin Qiyun. Now, she's acting ridiculously. Just a day after ascending the throne, in order to fill her harem. Qin Qiyun sought out Chu Xian, who had broken off their engagement 2 years ago, but didn't realize that Chu Xian was already a 9th-level Earth Realm cultivator. The overwhelming pressure across realms directly forced Qin Qiyun to kneel in public. Qiyun, you were wrong. The Empress, who had been suppressed for 10 years, now looked at Chu Xian with fear. Get up. You are the Empress of the Great Qin after all. Qin Qiyun stood up. Slightly lowering her head, with a docile expression, just like when Chu Xian first met her. I have heired as Empress. So the 3 of them went to the tea table. Come, have some tea. Let me ask you, do you know about the demonic bone land? Chu Xian would not miss the opportunity to ask someone who had personally experienced the human-demon war. That was in your previous life. The southern region has changed. The spiritual energy has declined, and the earth has collapsed. The rules are all a result of the human-demon war. But Chu Xian's understanding of this war was very limited. He had not obtained more information about this war from the Black Moon Tower. Now that Qin Qiyun, who had personally experienced it, was here, he naturally wanted to learn more about it. The human-demon war. Qin Qiyun was silent for a moment, recalling her past life memories. Actually, I don't know much about it either. Scolding Chu Xian for misunderstanding his concealment, Qin Qiyun hurriedly explained, I'm just a servant. I really don't know much. I've told you everything I know. Chu Xian leaned back, resuming his relaxed posture. He never would have guessed that the desirable Qin Qiyun from his past life was a lowly servant, a favorite of the great Qin emperor, constantly by his side. Emperor was a title of respect for powerful individuals, the supreme being of the land. From Qin Qiyun's words, it seemed his master, the great Qin emperor, also the Qin family's ancestor, was a renowned and powerful figure in ancient times, with unfathomable strength. He vaguely remembered. Before the demonic war, the Qin emperor furiously declared, treachery. Human treachery. They must be eliminated. Afterward, he left behind some magical treasures and departed with his experts. No one knew his purpose. Only that time, Qingyun was left behind in the Qin family's ancestral land. The emperor had prepared some safeguards for him, including the method to activate the altar. Within the ancestral land. When the demons invaded, human experts fell one after another, but the great Qin emperor was nowhere to be seen. Before the demonic war, rumors already circulated about the emperor's demise. And at that time, the great Qin empire was in turmoil. The new emperor couldn't stabilize the situation. With the demonic invasion, the great Qin empire fell. The descendants of the great Qin emperor were almost all killed. Qingyun tricked some Qin descendants into hiding in the ancestral land. He himself, resisting a powerful demon, barely escaped with his life thanks to a soul fragment prepared by the emperor. His soul reincarnated, returning to the Qin family's ancestral land to mature. He was later born into the Qin family as Qin Tingxian. You know the rest. Reaching this point in his story, Qingyun closed his eyes wearily. Xu Xian looked at him coldly. Consistent with my Heavenly Secrets Division's findings. No lies. Looks like I don't need to take action. He really just came for me. So, before the emperor left, besides safeguards, did he leave any other message? The demonic invasion was too sudden. It caught the human race off guard. It seems there were human traitors who aided the demons. Qingyun looked at the teacup on the table and said slowly, the emperor perhaps vanished to prevent the human betrayal that allowed the demonic invasion. I've asked all I need. Qingyun, be a good servant and don't cause any trouble. Don't bother me. Xu Xian waved his hand dismissively. You can leave. Go about your business. Just don't disturb me. Also, don't breathe a word of today's events to anyone. Yes, yes. Qingyun hurriedly stood up, fidgeting with his robe sash, and asked in a low voice, can I still come visit here? Xu Xian's lips twitched slightly. He couldn't help but recall Qingyun's preference for handsome men. He wanted to see him, didn't he? Go, Xu Xian waved him away. Qingyun watched him expectantly. Since Xu Xian didn't refuse, he took it as permission. Yes, I'll take my leave. Qingyun bowed respectfully before leaving the courtyard. After Qingyun left, Xu Xian picked up his communication device and contacted Bo Hongyan. Investigate information on the ancient Great Qin Emperor of the southern region. Keep it confidential. Yes. Sir. I'll get right on it. Bao Hongyan responded respectfully. Among the 3 gold medal division leaders, Xu Xian decided to focus on cultivating Bao Hongyan, helping him rise to become the head division leader. The other 2 division leaders weren't as talented as Bao Hongyan, and more importantly, those 2 were into women, not as appealing as Bao Hongyan. 3 days later, Bao Hongyan delivered the information on the Great Qin Emperor. Given his gold medal division leader status, the information he found wasn't extensive, lacking details about the emperor's strength, only a brief introduction. The only emperor in the southern region's history to unify the region, subjugating all sects and forces. Although just a few words, they spoke volumes about the great Qin emperor's power. Xu Xian suspected the ancient demonic war might have been a conspiracy, perhaps a plot to overthrow the great Qin empire. Qingyun's mention of human traitors aiding the demonic invasion, catching the human experts off guard, seemed likely. However, whether all the human experts were truly caught off guard remained to be seen. At least some were likely aware and not truly surprised. Only those who weren't in on the betrayal were genuinely caught off guard. It seemed the situation in the southern region was rather complex. Xu Xian wasn't worried. The demonic bone grounds wouldn't open so soon. By the time they did, his strength would be at least at the heaven stage. Sir, dinner is ready. Lost in thought, dinner time arrived. Time to nourish the body and soul. Let's see what's on the menu today. Sir, something's happened. Let the young master tell you. Never in his wildest dreams could he have imagined that the Qin family's daughter, now famous throughout the land, almost became his granddaughter-in-law. His sweet dream was shattered 3 years ago by Xu Xian's refusal. Shattered it was, and his family was now suffering the consequences. He was furious. The old man's name was Chu Tianming, the Chu family patriarch. Just now, the delivery boy brought news. Originally, the Zhao, He, and Chu families were to officially become vassals of the Qin kingdom, surrendering their territories and accepting Qin rule. But unexpectedly, Qingyun suddenly changed his mind. The Zhaoanhe families surrendered their territories, becoming vassals. Yet, the Chu family he no longer demanded their submission, nor mentioned vassalage. He even returned the Chu family's core formation experts captured from the Great Qin Empire. To the Chu family, this was a mixed blessing. Not having to surrender their millennia-old territory, not becoming vassals, seemed like a good thing. But Qingyun's sudden change of heart left the Chu family uneasy. These strange actions, to outsiders, appeared to be a sign of displeasure with the Chu family, excluding them from the Qin kingdom, no longer acknowledging them as part of it. The old man was now furious. He believed it was Chu Xian's rejection of the marriage that offended the emperor. Chu Xian, of course, knew the real reason and silently continued eating. From the main hall came Chu Tianming's roaring voice, "I'm so angry. Bring that scoundrel Chu Xian back to me. This unfilial child. Look at the state of the Chu family now. He still won't return. He must be brought back to apologize to the emperor." The Chu family's current situation was precarious. Having lost their alliance with the other three families, they were vulnerable to any powerful enemy. Nowhere to seek refuge, the distant sky. This soul-severing expert looked grim. It's crucial to break through to the core realm quickly. Meanwhile, the Chu family issued a mission to the Black Moon Tower. Capture Chu Xian. Capture Chu Xian. Interesting. Wan Chang immediately informed Chu Xian of this. Chu Xian couldn't help but shake his head. If he were to return, there would surely be trouble. Chu Tianming would scold him to death. He ordered Wan Chang to refuse the mission. Later, Chu Tianming's furious roars came from the Chu residence again. Chu Xian worried whether his cheap grandpa would die of anger. The next piece of news was even more exciting. Now that the Qin kingdom has annexed territories, the power dynamics are complex and turbulent. Evil cultivators and unknown experts are causing trouble everywhere. Several experts appointed by the Qin kingdom to maintain order have been killed. The chaos at the border didn't last long. True experts suddenly appeared to defend the Qin kingdom's borders and killed many of the chaotic rogue cultivators. The drunken Sword Mountain actually helped. The faces of the former empire and the evil king pavilion turned unsightly. The Qin kingdom's rise was too fast. Empress Qingyun was incredibly powerful, almost stepping into the earth realm. If not for the former empire and the evil king pavilion holding her back, she might have swallowed them whole. Behind her was the support of the Nine Swords Mountain. Or perhaps a collaboration. Chu Xian looked at this information. Nine Swords Mountain's intervention was expected. Qingyun's father, the man who joined the Qin family, turned out to be the Grand Elder of Nine Swords Mountain, but Hong Fei's age is enough to be Qin Pingxia's father. Could this be the magic of love? Even more surprising was that reportedly, no one in the Qin family knew about Qin Pingxia's husband being the Grand Elder of Nine Swords Mountain. Considering Qingyun was born from Qin Pingxia, it's not hard to guess that Hong Fei joining the Qin family was actually arranged by Qingyun. Qingyun's heroic soul rested in the Qin family ancestral land. It was likely that Qin Pingxia received instructions from Qingyun while cultivating in the ancestral land. Nine Swords Mountain is a backup plan of the Great Qin Emperor, or perhaps a force that originally supported the Great Qin Emperor. Nine Swords Mountain's heritage is very ancient. Even older than the Great Qin Empire, it has been passed down since before the Demon War. This is getting more and more interesting. Chu Xian sighed as he read the information. The waters of the southern region were indeed deep. He decided that when his strength increased, he would have Du Yuan come to the southern region, stir up the waters of the southern region. After Rin Chang and Tua Kang, he would also have this nominal disciple come to the southern region to stir things up. It was already dawn when he finished cultivating. After practicing the Yin-Yang Harmony Divine chapter, reversing death to life, his strength had certainly improved further. No matter what schemes the southern region had, they were all insignificant. Without leaving his home, he single-handedly overturned them. Overturning such a large scheme, the system rewards should be substantial. Thinking of this, Chu Xian felt delighted. You can scheme all you want, you'll just wait to overturn them. Right, it's time to explore the space beneath the Chu residence. With that, his divine sense probed into the space below the Chu residence. During his last breakthrough to the Earth realm, Chu Xian hadn't explored it carefully. As expected, the Zhaoanhe family's sudden surge in strength was likely due to activating some inheritance or secret ground. Since the Zhao and He families had it, the Chu family wouldn't be without it. His divine sense probed into the space and saw clusters of energy floating within, as well as stored resources. Half-Earth-grade weapons, and even one Earth-grade weapon. This was left by the Chu family ancestors. According to records, the Chu family residence was an ancient ruin. The Chu family rose to prominence after discovering this ruin. Perhaps someone guided the Chu family to this ancient ruin in the first place. Chu Xian hesitated and didn't activate the Chu family's fortune. He would let Chu Yun activate it after she returned. Retracting his divine sense, Chu Xian stopped thinking. This young man carrying the sins of the world, what has he experienced? You would never imagine that as the son of the southern region's most esteemed woman, he was not only abandoned by his mother, but also stepped on by her new lover. Moreover, he was the kind of trash whose smoke was considered too thick even for burning firewood. Just now, within the heavily guarded Qin palace, Empress Qingyun was listening to reports, pondering the current complicated situation. After a brief period of calm, things were getting chaotic again. As expected, the situation was turbulent again. Evil cults were constantly active. Even though the Qin kingdom dispatched numerous experts, they still couldn't completely eradicate the evil cults. With the continuous activation of the Qin kingdom's destiny, more and more experts emerged, and the overall situation gradually stabilized, returning to the previous state, where incidents caused by evil cults were constantly being suppressed by the various forces within the Qin kingdom. A group of restless wolves told the front lines not to focus solely on the evil cults. The Great Qian Empire has also planted many spies in our Qin kingdom. We must be more vigilant. Qin Kuan naturally understood that the Qin kingdom's rise was too fast and they could only stabilize the situation temporarily. As for these spies, it wouldn't be easy to completely remove them. Once she gained a firm foothold, it would be time to strike, and also the time for those wolves to die. Your Majesty, there's still the Chu family to deal with. I consider the Chu family to be both loyal and old friends. If we strike against the Chu family, I'm afraid it will complicate things with Qin Pingshan and others. When Chu Qiuluo broke off the engagement, seeing her sister Qin Pingxia heartbroken and furious, she was so angry she wanted to lock Chu Qiuluo up. When Qin Qiyun was rejected by Chu Xian, she was also furious. There's no need to involve the Chu family, maintain the friendship. As for Chu Xian, let's treat him as an ordinary ancient family of the Qin kingdom. Qin Qiyun said calmly and righteously, also, don't interfere with the Chu family anymore. Qin Pingshan sighed inwardly. He didn't know Qin Qiyun was thinking, what exactly is your use? If you're siding with the Chu family, why bother maintaining this facade of friendship while simultaneously undermining them? It's baffling. I wonder what Qin Qiyun is thinking. Perhaps he still harbors feelings for Chu Yuan, but he's made his decision. There's nothing to be done. Though Qin Qiyun is young, her strength is profound. She appears demure, but she's quite cunning. If she were to become Wu Nida, the outcome wouldn't be favorable. And now, Qin Qia's eyes were calm. The small courtyard and the handsome, powerful, and mysterious man within it surfaced in her mind. The Chu family's situation is complicated. Meanwhile, the isolated Chu family could only continue to huddle within Chu Jun's protection, developing slowly. Occasionally, Chu Tianming's frustrated cries could be heard. Heavens! Why do you treat my Chu family this way? Chu Xian couldn't be bothered with the Chu family's affairs. He didn't rely on them. He only wished to be left alone. His energy. After a series of events, the Chu family seemed to have forgotten about his useless existence. He remained in his small courtyard, amusing himself with the myriad heaven's divine scripture. Shadu, you need to fix your habit of eating with your mouth open. He would also occasionally instruct Rin Changha on the Yin Yang divine chapter. Old man, that's not right. You have to do it like this, and then this. Even the previously raised golden rock and heavenly beauty had quietly broken through to the earth realm. 3 years had passed. Yet Chu Xian felt somewhat depressed. Why hadn't a person with great destiny appeared yet? Were they so rare in this world? That evening, as Chu Xian was drinking tea, his expression suddenly changed. Outside the Chu family estate, a year-old youth, with a self-deprecating expression, approached the courtyard, drinking from a wine gourd. Trash. I'm the kind of trash that even burning firewood finds smoky. The youth, slightly drunk, mumbled to himself, stumbling. His clothes were dirty and torn, and a worn sword hung from his waist. He looked utterly dejected. Right. How could trash like me be worthy of a celestial maiden like her? It was all wishful thinking. I'm just trash, the trashiest trash in the world. The courtyard door opened. And he stumbled in, vomiting on the wall. Xu Xian's lips twitched. It seems every person with great destiny starts as trash. The youth was only at the first level of the profound realm. To be able to intrude into the Chu family estate, and reach here unnoticed, his destiny must be extraordinary. Su Xian, awakening from his cultivation, walked out of the Qingyun space, frowning at Dingyu. Where did this little brat come from? Master, leave him to me. Ill. He was about to expel the intruder when Xu Xian waved his hand, stopping him. Dingyu shook his empty wine gourd. He looked at the seated Xu Xian and then at the beautiful Su Xian in her silk dress. After a moment of hesitation, he stumbled over. Brother, do you have any wine? Sell me some. He fumbled through his pockets, finding nothing, then untied the worn sword from his waist. I have no money, so I'll trade this useless sword for wine. I won't need it anymore anyway. This sword is a profound weapon. Isn't it a loss to trade it for wine? Xu Xian asked pointedly. Brother, what use is a good sword to trash like me? Dingyu sat down dejectedly. Do you know what being trash means? I'm trash. Look at me. Look at me. I can see that. You truly are trash. Xu Xian nodded. Your entire being reeks of trash. If you said you weren't trash, even a cockroach wouldn't believe you. Dingyu cried. Anyone could see he was trash. Not only are you trash, but you're also trash who got played by a woman. Xu Xian continued to fan the flames. How do you know? Dingyu asked, startled. I not only know that, but I also know you were played by your childhood sweetheart, and your childhood sweetheart even stepped on you, telling you to piss and look at your reflection. Where did you get the courage to think you were worthy of a celestial maiden? Truly pathetic. Dingyu was stunned. How did you know? Who are you? Xu Xian's body radiated seven-colored divine light. Mu Yu, bathed in the divine light, looked like a celestial being. I am the guide of lost souls, the master of trash. Meeting me is the greatest fortune of your life, young man. Kneel and kowtow. Dingyu stared at Xu Xian. Bathed in divine light, completely dumbfounded. Trash's destiny. Yes, Trash's destiny. Xu Xian's voice boomed like the great Tao, vast and boundless. Dingyu struggled. Was this real? Had he truly encountered his opportunity? Could he truly rise? Finally, he gritted his teeth. His gaze hardened. Thump. He knelt and kowtowed. Dingyu greets master. Good. From now on, you are my disciple. As long as you respect and obey your master, I will guarantee your rise to the peak, to the pinnacle. Xu Xian's divine light receded. He looked at Dingyu with satisfaction. He had finally taken on a disciple. He was quite pleased with Dingyu's talent. As expected of someone with great destiny, perhaps he truly was the child of destiny of the southern region. Xu Xian could see through Dingyu's origins and talent. Dingyu, possessing the 9-mountain chi diagram, had a blocked destiny meridian. His cultivation was extremely slow. Thus he was considered trash and was rejected by his childhood sweetheart. You, without leaving your home, have attracted the child of destiny of the southern region to become your disciple. You have accepted your first disciple, the first disciple whose destiny you saw. The system's voice rang out. Xu Xian's guess was correct. This guy was the current child of destiny of the southern region. Chuckle. Dingyu's rise was inevitable. At that moment, Xu Xian looked at the youth before him as if he had found a treasure. Master, can you really make me stronger? Dingyu knelt, his face full of anticipation. Do not doubt your master. Xu Xian's eyes narrowed slightly. Do you think your master's title of trash is for nothing? Not to mention trash, even a pile of shit can be turned into gold in my hands. Dingyu's lips twitched. If he were really a pile of shit, he might as well die. Xu Xian sized up Dingyu. His meridians seemed somewhat blocked, more so than ordinary cultivators. Although he was at the first level of the profound realm, he might be the weakest among first-level profound realm cultivators. You possess the destiny meridian. But it is blocked. Thus, your cultivation is slow. Dingyu, today is the day your destiny changes. Zhu Xian reached out and pointed at Dingyu's destiny meridian. Open. Dingyu felt a powerful force surge into his body. Rumble. Something seemed to have been unblocked. He gained some inexplicable insights. His cultivation, originally at the first level of the profound realm, began to soar rapidly. Third level of the profound realm. Fifth level. Dingyu closed his eyes and sat down cross-legged. His aura surged. Powerful forces flowed within his body. The previous